to you, but I don't know if you know this, but you actually just broke an in the muff rule.
Well, we're not supposed to bring drama from other rooms into this house, but we do appreciate this bit of tea, though. This is informative reporting. We have to do our due diligence now and report this room.
Yeah, that's not like gossip about so and so's whatever politics. Like that is literally criminal. Needs to be reported and re-reported and reported.
And I think some of y'all need to reevaluate your friendships on this app. It's fucking amazing.
Oh, there's a lot of Amir supporters on this app, but surprisingly, there are a few Muslims that also hate Amir, or some Arabs that hate Amir. Hate seems to also be universal.
Can we agree that the people that make apologies and try to prop up terrorists like Amir, that have rooms now they're into sex trafficking, like that's problematic? Can we agree that saying that these are the good people of the app, that we should start reevaluating?
There's someone in this room, Mojo, that's reporting back to that room. I took pictures of the chat. They're talking crazy shit about this room right now. And they're talking about JB. I took screenshots of everything. But there's somebody in this room that was in here called Momo, saying that we're streaming their room in this room.
Oh, Momo. Momo is a double agent. We're going to make Momo famous.
Fourth, please ask them to stop the sex trafficking, because it's a crime and it's horribly exploitative to women. It's a filthy thing to do, and they have to stop it immediately. I mean, they've been promoting murder and terror for years, but now they've brought crime to my view.
So,
speaking of sex traffickers.
I just saw him pop in and pop out.
Roger, Momo is Mo.
I just sent you the screenshot, Roger.
yep, I have it. So, Mo is, we're going to get Mo
very
kicked off the
yucky.
app today.
It's very
How about that?
disgusting. Yep.
We will get Mo kicked off the app
But
today.
going back to the news, we do have. What
And
else do
they're
we
trying to
have?
dox the shit out of JB. They put his first and last name in the chat there.
Let's see.
I mean, a lot of people know
checking
who
the
JB
news.
is.
Oh, hold on. If they're doing that, then we should.
Oh yeah, that
master
soccer
report them
player.
for
He was
doxing,
waiting in
and
line
we'll get them kicked
at
off
the
the app.
8 side,
It's very simple.
and actually a football player, right? Suleiman Al Obeid was killed in Gaza. And apparently, IDF is coming and saying that, we don't know anybody.
I'm already famous, bro. Some of these pieces of shits like to pass articles around about me. Why don't you just step to me and see what you guys say? Otherwise, shut the fuck up and say it. How about that? Bunch of fucking phonies.
That's true. I have received an article. That's true. People didn't like me in your room, JB, and they let me know. Hey, look.
Oh, I'm well aware, B-Mo. I'm sure some of them are on stage right now.
There was no shooting in that region. Nobody died in that area.
And that's how it is.
But even
But you know what? The same people that come to my room, sit on my stage, smile on my
the
face.
European Union
So I don't give a fuck. I don't answer to none of you.
Football Federation has
Say about
said,
JB.
I mean, they've not said
He
his
did
real
some wrong
kid,
things.
but he is.
He's completely open about it. He paid a debt. It was a very serious debt. As far as I can say, a person has a right to do wrong because we're all human, and to pay your debt, which he did openly and admits openly, he doesn't lie about it. And as far as I'm concerned, that's his redemption. And he now rejoins us as a beloved friend. He did the wrong thing. He's never going to do it again. And we're not God. We don't judge him. He paid his debt to society, and now he's doing the right thing. And I uplift him, and I support him.
Thank you, Lord. I appreciate it. I was staying out of this space, not because I don't like Mojo or Roger. It's because of the people he has around him. Some of the people I have around him are just fucking twat waffles. Sony motherfuckers. And you know what? I don't want to disrespect his space. But, any of you people have a problem, you step to me. Let's have a one-on-one conversation. Some of you motherfuckers killed your husband. But I don't talk on that. Or abuse your fucking kids. I don't talk on that. Keep my name out of your fucking mouth, because I promise you, if I come, I'm coming heavy. Move a fucking wall and mind your fucking business. I don't answer to nobody.
He might be low income, but he's not low income.
Okay, changing the subject. Who is 1111? Because I've been getting weird messages, and that 1111 has been on these messages. Who is this idiot?
Messages, Shirley. This is the person who was talking about the sex trafficking that he's doing in Switzerland and Dubai.
The crazy thing is, he says after he says the story, and I took screenshots. He said after I said the story, the app jammed my account for a little bit. Can anybody hear me? Now there's somebody else too. That's also, I don't know if they're in this room right now. They're in the chat in that room talking about this room as well.
Wait, why do you think that it's sex trafficking? Because I didn't follow that. So he paid somebody to spit on him. That's like, how do you know it's just not like a
He
kink?
goes to Dubai and Switzerland and gets women to go with him and to have sex with him, I'm just saying, for money, and then doesn't pay them and tries to get rid of them, and then says, "Oh, I'm with you," and get them to spit on him. So I don't know if you understand the concept of sex trafficking, but it's prostitution. It's taking advantage of women for sex and exploiting them monetarily for sex.
Well, deep state patriots. Well, I gotta say, Ben Mendelsohn was talking about the same thing in Deep State Patriots. How he went to the Bunny Ranch in Vegas and had sex with a 21-year-old nurse from Santa Monica College. These people run in the same circles. Liberals seem to love prostitution.
Do you know what's interesting? Is if someone chooses, what it sounds like you're describing is theft, right? If he didn't pay them for, he contracted.
More prostitution sold at the Republican convention, my friend, than any other convention. So stop.
What I'm talking about is the sexual exploitation of women, which is known by the crime, and this is an international crime called sex trafficking, and it's a huge problem in the world.
So prostitution is sex trafficking?
These women, they take advantage of them. They're not free to come and go. They have other people who are they're exploiting them. They're running them. They get the money. Yeah, that's what sex trafficking is.
Okay,
Didn't know.
So these women, okay, well, the prostitutes I've met, trust me, listen, I'm
not sure.
We're in New York. Normal. Go ahead.
Bima, there's no we here. Don't give me a we. If you don't know what sex trafficking is, I'm not interested in your experience with sex trafficking. That's between you and your God and your parole officer. I'm reporting to you what we just heard in that room. If you don't understand it, look it up. It's a massive problem. The United Nations is with it. They've discovered this in Gaza. If you want, we can put the link at the top of the room. They take people of other ethnicities and nationalities. One example is Yazidi women. Another example is the Moroccan women that 1111 described in the room. And they exploit them for sexual purposes. It's a horrendous thing. I don't know what their ages are, but this is Epstein level shit. It's disgusting. And I don't recommend that you try to apologize for it, because you're only going to get yourself into a very bad light.
Listen, I say what's on my mind. If you don't like what I'm saying, then, express that. But
yeah. I think you should probably think about what you're going to say now before you say it. because you're right now in the process of trying to apologize for international crime of sex trafficking. And there's a room on this app of women. And there's a room on this app
being trafficked to China to this day. Why don't you watch an episode of Trafficked if you're not familiar with what trafficking is? It's a really good episode that just came out. Might want to watch it. It'll educate you on trafficking. I'm not talking to you all, Norm. I was talking to those that don't understand trafficking. But we have children being sold at the young ages of 6, 13, 16, underage women being sold by their family to the Chinese. Yes, girls. Trafficking, sex trafficking. And we have women that are over 18 also being trafficked and being sold, put into dark rooms. 3 women in a room being sold for sex. With the promise, they're going there with the promise of getting married and having children, like wives, buying a wife. That's what's happening. That's the Vietnamese end. This is just the Vietnamese end. So yeah, it's happening everywhere. It's a major big deal. And they're being trafficked against their will, sex being sold against their will. They're being sold like cattle.
And this is what I heard with my own ears in that room. That this fellow who calls himself Amir, that's not his real name. Not going to say his real name in the room, but we know it. This is what I heard him platforming. He's running a room that was dealing in sex trafficking and laughing about it. And he wasn't the only one. And nobody responded. Nobody said anything condemnatory about it. They were literally laughing about it. It's one of the most
Did you know
disturbing.
About that, JB?
What's that?
Sorry, Norm. I'm wondering if JB knew about that.
Did you record any of it? Norm, did you record any of it?
No.
Did I know about what, Jane?
What Norm's talking about? I thought you would.
No. Norm hit me offline. He's like, hey, they're running this room. I said, all right. I was like, I'll open the room with healthy debates, and then he hit me back. He said, he's in Mojo's room. Come in. I said, all right, let's go. But see these fucking twat waffles, right? All of them. Oh shit. You know, where's Ann? Ann's on stage. She'll tell you about the rooms that we ran, the people that we helped. But they want to stand on my dick, right? And send articles around from 16 years ago. Fuck these people. All fucking frauds.
Who are you talking about, JB?
If they don't apply, let it fly.
Well, to my knowledge, I'm the only one on this stage with a dead husband, and I know you weren't implying that I killed him.
Listen, like I said, if it don't apply, let it fly. If you killed him, that's your business. You gotta deal with God, not me.
In the chat, a nice person. I hope.
Spicy.
Explaining what the protocol is on international flights. How to tell if somebody's being sex trafficked. I'll read what it says in the chat. You can read it yourself. I don't want to call out this woman because it's a horrible subject. No eye contact. Not allowed to speak. Doesn't hold ticketing or passport. That's what. So apparently this lady is trying to fight sex trafficking and looking for the signs of it. And we just heard a confession in the other room, in a room that is usually dedicated to advocating for the genocide of Jews. And they switched to sex trafficking. It's a nexus of crime and vice. I am just sickened by it. I mean, I have kids in the house right now, and I don't even want to be in a place where they can hear me talk about this. I don't want them to hear that people can be so evil.
I think good is new.
The worst part about it is there's people in this room that simp for this room and Amir's room, and they go in there and they talk with them like they're best friends with all those people in there. That's the craziest part about it. And then that she was trying to simp for them just 10 minutes ago. That's fucking crazy.
I don't know if you want to. I'm not asking to be modded, but you can mod me if you care to, and I'll put at the top of the room an example of what they do.
In the month, we only mod vaginas.
I have it. Go ahead, mod me, Mojo.
Well, we have a problem with.
In any event, United States and Israel rescued during this war a Yazidi woman who was sex trafficked for 10 years. And both Al Jazeera and the BBC reported on it. And apparently, As Roger said, I think Mojo said not long ago, Iranian revolutionary genocide republic, they marriage for a night. So they have people that they're sex trafficking and get around the religious restrictions. They actually perform a marriage, then they exploit them, and then they quickly annul the marriage. That's how it works in the together. The nexus of, I'm quite sure that there's drugs involved in this as well, because that's how they finance the terror. The whole thing is coming together: the sex trafficking, the terror, and the genocide and the drugs. I'm getting like a pain in my heart from being a witness to this.
Hey, baby, nice to see you.
I mean, how do you explain, Las Vegas bunny ranches, and being able to actually operate brothels versus other major
Those
Democrat
are legal
cities?
brothels. I don't even know, sir, how you can conflate the two.
Well, I live in Chicago, and the Democrats here are considering opening up brothels and issuing prostitution licenses.
Legal business.
I get it, but the Democrats in Chicago want to start issuing, prostitution licenses. It's progressive.
It's been in Nevada for probably, let's see how old the state is. It's been here for, we're getting close to 100 years. You got a problem with it?
No, I'm just saying, we're $37 trillion in debt, and if prostitutes want to fuck and make money, and you asked me if I had a problem with it.
Take it up with the Nevada legislature.
You asked me if I had a problem with
The
it.
Republicans and the Democrats have supported it here for 100 years, and it's an incredibly regulated industry here. They're tested on a weekly basis. But you can go visit it if you want.
Route that terrorists travel on or could potentially travel.
No, I don't want to be Eskimo brothers with Ben Mendelsohn. Sorry, Abby.
But Abby, they are free to go. They're free to live. They don't have to do it.
Security reasons. But you have no idea about security.
Oh my God, no.
You don't
Actually,
really
did you see the
appreciate
movie about these Asian women that it won Sundance and a bunch of festivals.
I'll put the name in the chat. It's something like Sababa, not Sababa, Sabab.
Something like that. It means slave in their language, or sex slave is the word for it. And they did a documentary of trying to rescue those women. It's a very powerful documentary. I think it came out 2 years ago.
Well, Ben Mendelsohn helped put a prostitute through college at Santa Monica University by boinking her at a bunny ranch. That's a deep state patriot.
Where do you get this shit?
Where do I get this from? It's on my YouTube channel. Let me send you the link of Ben Mendelsohn talking about 3 minutes of him banging a prostitute at the bunny ranch.
Listen, we're talking about something very different here. In the case of, like I said, these women are not trafficked. They're free to come and go. What we're talking about is women who are not free to come and go, who are being exploited.
No, I know. I'm being facetious.
Conflating this.
I'm being facetious, of
Serious
course.
business, John. Serious business.
Did you see Amir just be packed in Nevada when he left?
You should mod Abby, maybe.
But is it an Islamic thing to traffic women?
Sabaya.
I don't see any Jews modded.
Because they.
Sabaya is the name of the movie, but it's a real problem.
Who said I don't see any Jews modded?
I mean, if you got 4 wives, you are a player, in Islam.
This room is different. Just fucking around, podcast. Just fucking.
I don't know, not you, just all of it, the entire galaxy. The entire universe in the month right now. It's pretty good.
Is there a douche in the muff?
Into this conversation constructively, because I'm a little blown away. I've actually never witnessed this before. I I hadn't encountered the kind of evil that I've witnessed on Clubhouse before, and I feel like I'm up to it. I filmed in some pretty hairy locations, Bosnia during and after the war, in various prisons, but I haven't been exposed to sort of unregulated vice, crime, hate, terror, and genocide the way I have on this app. I think we've somehow reached a new low.
It's efficiency, El Norma. You can come here and do all that for nothing with just the click of a button. You're gonna hear the worst of the worst.
Yeah, but some of it's not legal.
Well, then record it and send it to the FBI.
Hey, let Shirley talk. John, I am a mod. Shirley, go ahead.
Thank you for getting me back to reality, Jane. Shirley, what did this guy say to you? Because this guy is an international criminal.
No, I don't remember because I have a strict rule not to interface with these kind of things because when you're a grandmother, there's somebody trying to scam you all the time. But I have gotten call messages either, and that's how crazy it is. I don't know if it's on Instagram or my dadgum phone. This 111, and I have just thought, oh God, that is so weird. What is that? And I just have not interfaced with it because it's just weird. And now I know how weird.
Phone call from somebody or a text message or on app the person whose name was.
It's that number. I'm gonna have to go through my stuff to figure it out, but it has come up in some kind of messaging on my phone. Either on Instagram or maybe text messages. But I think, and it's probably Instagram, which is a reason why I have just gotten where I don't want to put my children on these, pictures of my family on this app. Because I'm talking to people that would do that. Okay, I sound hysterical.
Yeah, it's not that hard to pull out another little burner, little recorder.
Wait a minute. Why is there another penis moderator? I did it. It's Jew. I had to do it for Norm. Oh my God. I know, we don't even get along. It's like a triple matter. Okay, so wait, hold on. So we're going to have to redefine the rules. So I can mod, women can mod, Jews can mod. That'll be rule number one. Okay, got it.
All I'm saying is,
what is going on?
No, hold on. If there's any other Jews in the room, please speak now so we can get them on.
Well,
Hey, what's going on?
I would like someone to give me a recap. I've been on an airplane. Could you tell me what I've been missing?
our patrilineal Jews also offered mod badges.
Wait, hold on. Can someone just give me a recap here?
Abby, yeah, after going into his room and hearing him promote genocide of Jews, terror against Jews, anti-Semitism, and violence against people in Israel, day in and day out. People in his room screaming the N-word for hours on end and not stopping it, continuing. People in his room saying that we're going to
Hold on. If I missed a woman or a Jew, please let me know. We want to make sure that we democratize the moderation.
You got Abby. Need Abby.
Abby's
hearing people say that they're going to put us in ovens, they're going to grill us, they're going to hunt us down, and so forth. Tonight, I heard of your platforming sex trafficking. I'm just speechless. A person describing it going to Dubai and Switzerland and getting women to go with him to hotel rooms, getting women of different ethnic groups and exploiting them. This is something that he does regularly. It was a person with the screen name 111, or maybe it was 41. I don't remember now. Unbelievable experience, Abby. It was shocking.
Wow, that's. Anyone get recordings or?
I just want to. Sorry, I'm a
That's
woman.
what I asked.
It's probably some kind of hotline. Mojo, I'm a woman and a Jew. Do I
You get two mod badges.
You're a win-win.
Wow.
a question. Does anybody know this unloading guy character?
No.
He's a troll.
Who unloading?
There are a lot of mods right now.
Can we just go back to this for a second, Norm? There's probably a lot, if there's recordings of it, that you can report that to. That's
Recordings, as far as I know, and I reported the room as soon as I heard it, and I didn't want to be anywhere near it. And I didn't
John,
believe
did
what I
you
was.
get it? Maybe John got it.
No, I've been working this positive mojo vibration for a couple days now. I gave up.
Yeah, John, what the hell?
Really, John?
Well, I'm sorry. My mental health matters too. I can't listen to terrorists and pedophiles and rapists all day long.
You record all this other dog shit, but you don't get a criminal trafficking room
1 hour
conversation.
is a bad mental.
I encourage you all to get a burner account and an anonymous account and record these pricks instead of offloading it onto me, you lazy clown house clickers.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Recorded a room in my life, and I'm not about to start now. It was
Very easy, Norm. You're doing screen records. Very
No,
easy.
I don't do it because I don't want to, not because I don't know how.
Fair
I'm
enough.
extremely adept technically. I just really don't want to.
Come on, I'm not criticizing.
Yeah, I don't feel criticized.
I've done it a few times myself.
I do not
I think you can only be in the audience, though, right?
It just makes a stronger case for law enforcement to have a recording.
It really does.
Well, you know who definitely has a recording?
Clubhouse.
Bingo.
Bingo, bingo.
So, I put something very funny in the chat. I don't know if anyone saw the John Oliver piece he did on Schumer and the imaginary couple. Has anyone seen that? And the Baileys? Anyway, I put it in the chat. It's very funny. Schumer's made up a fictional couple that he basically structured his whole political career around this couple and their politics, but they're fake. And he writes about them in his book, and as if they're real people. It's you just have to see the piece.
He's a terrible guy.
Yeah, but this is his own side exposing him.
I'm on his side.
Okay, just put it in the chat.
I voted for him. I'm angry.
You are all a bunch of lazy clown house fake hypocrite complainers. Do something. Record Amir's room.
What are you?
Record Amir's room. Put it on YouTube. Put it on X and notify Dan and Cash at FBI and Tulsi Gabbard at DNI and CIA and maybe local law enforcement. Do something instead of just listening, because clown house liberals who run this app aren't going to do anything.
This is what we're gonna do. I'm loading one. I'm loading. Why don't you speak?
Wait, you moved John? So what? He can come back. Why did you move him?
Hold on, everybody. Hold on, everybody. I'm loading. Why don't you speak?
Violence.
I'm loading. Going once.
I invite him back. Go ahead, I am loading.
He was there the whole time you guys were asking him to
He
speak.
was there the whole time. That's my point.
And he wrote in the chat, why would I speak now?
So I'm also learning about these avatars that are not real. And this may be one of them.
If you want to do something, report the people who are doing this, and take a stand against the exploitation of women, against the genocide of Jewish people, against the terrorism that they're promoting all day and all night in that room. I mean, I've never made an appeal like this. I've never come into a room and I don't even talk about other people for the most part. I try to avoid it. But I felt this really crossed the line. And if you want to know whether the three-letter agencies are interested in this kind of criminal behavior, I can assure you that they are. recommending some of the warning signs of sex trafficking, like women not making eye contact, women not allowed to hold their own passport, women not allowed to hold their own ticket. Extremely helpful. That's very productive, and you're a brave woman. I'm not going to call you out by name unless you want to identify yourself, but you're brave and you're contributing to the solution, and I appreciate it.
I mean, Clown House created Anonymous for a reason. It's because you can't police this unless you can do it anonymously. So take action now and do something anonymously. You know, if you have a recording studio or a private little office and you get yourself 2 little tripods and you focus one camera on the other cell phone and you hit record or live stream and you publish these terrorist cocksuckers to the internet so we get some social equity justice because these murderous, psychotic, low IQ neurotics are on here spewing hate speech all day long. You know, don't just gossip about it. Take action now.
I have a different suggestion. Add to the positivity in the world. If there's somebody you know who's in the crosshairs of this sort of harassment, terror, and crime, reach out to them. Offer to do something nice for somebody. Help somebody that you don't even know. Be vigilant about this kind of stuff and try to help the next person. It's a very important time right now for us to help each other and to fight this horrible harassment and violence and negativity. It's not a joke. If you want now.
John, I apologize for moving you.
Oh, that's okay, Jane. I forgive you. Just report Amir's room. Get some personal justice and satisfaction in this world. Kicking me to the goo will not get you the dopamine you're looking for.
I know. Thank you.
See, if you want real good dopamine creation, you will all go get a track phone burner account, and for just $15, activate a new burner phone. Get Anonymous for $5 a month. Set that thing up on a little 3-pronged tripod. Take your other primary phone and set that up on a 3-part tripod and create a YouTube account called Jew Hate Database Watch, something like that. And then record Amir's room, post it on the internet, notify APAC, notify the Jew Hate Database, notify Benjamin Netanyahu, notify Ben Shapiro, notify Dan Bongino, notify Kash Patel, notify the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, the CIA, and let the world know what these little rats in their bucket of shit are talking about all day long on Clown House.
So sometimes rooms get stale, and I offer a hard reset where we open a new, fresh room to talk about things. Is anybody interested in a room reboot like that?
We can do it in this room. I don't know why everyone has to get kicked out and come back.
Yeah, I agree with David. But, you know, it's always worth trying, Scarlett. See how it goes. It's all an experiment, as we all know.
Scarlett, why don't you test the marketplace? Announce that you're going to create a room about some great topic, go create your room, and come back and tell us how your experiment went. What were you thinking about recreating, Scarlett? What topic do you think is going to drive the next conversation?
What's the prompt?
we regularly change topics, and they've got a good one. Go for it.
And to how they either act or will add to positivity.
How about a new survey question? Do you like Scarlet with 2 T's or 1 T?
Well, every time I hear someone say two T's, it sounds like titties. So it works for me. Scarlett, why don't you make a poll? That's a great conversational catalyst starter.
How about let me help you with that hard reset, Scarlet? Welcome to In the Muff. These are the 10 rules. Number 1, no threats of violence. 2, no doxing. 3, stay on topic. 4, keep your shares brief. 5, do not interrupt speakers, especially mods. Mods may interject when appropriate. The N word is forbidden on stage and in the chat. Number 8, don't spam the chat. Number 9, do not bring drama here from other rooms. And 10, English only. PSA, assume that all rooms are being streamed by either John Kitover Incorporated or some other clown house troll. Paul and the Clubhouse team have taken away the mod's ability to remove people that do this when they introduce the Anon feature. Thank you for listening. Your compliance is appreciated. Welcome back to the Situation Room, where we are streaming potential terrorists, terrorist supporters, and terrorist hate speech creators in the Amir Room. Welcome back to In the Muff. Was that just annoying, or did that entertain anybody?
Why not entertain me? Because you're entertaining generally. So. What do others feel about John? Sorry, Joe. What is your answer? Were you entertained by what John said?
If you find yourself breathless sometimes in the muff, just remember, pull that head back, take the deepest breath of the day in the muff or outside that muff, hold it for 10 seconds, 10 not 11, 10 not 9, and get back in that muff.
Seriously, how can y'all not think this man is funny? He's hilarious. John, were you a theater kid? Did you go to performing arts school?
No, but well, I was FDR in my 7th grade play, but I have, I grew up on movies, so I've been doing impersonations my whole life.
Wait, hold on. You were FDR in a play?
Yeah, in Annie with Daddy Warbucks.
Jesus Christ! So were you? Wait, hold on. Was it just you and a bunch of intern Japanese people? Like, I want it recorded somewhere.
Yeah, it's on VHS, and then I have the newspaper clipping where I'm sitting in the wheelchair with Annie for the head of our local newspaper.
I want to see it. It sounds good.
I had a full head of hair in the 7th grade. Yeah, my song was Tomorrow. You want to hear Tomorrow by FDR from Annie? Tomorrow, tomorrow, you'll love me. Tomorrow, you're only a troll away. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I'll troll you. Tomorrow, you're only a YouTube recording away.
John, how is it that you had 40,000 recordings posted to YouTube, but the one room that we needed to record, you don't have recorded?
Because it's always in the now, and I have recorded so many Amir rooms for so many nights, and Notified Cash and Dan and Tulsi and Clown House. I tag Clubhouse and a lot of stuff because I respect this app and like this app. But it gets views, but never a retweet, never alike. So I think people just, want to put their blinders on and pray it away.
I know our fearless leader has left us. It's just Harry and I. Oh, Scarlett's. Oh, Monica's here. Serendipity's gone. What's up, Sandy Grace?
Actually, I'm okay with closing the room. It's been a busy day on Clubhouse. We had lots of replays and recordings of rooms. John did a great job streaming on YouTube. I think Anson's room discussing whether Trump's new executive order to allow the National Guard to defend DC from criminals was a great topic.
Are those rooms recorded? Because I missed that when I had to work.
It was on
the Anson room.
Yeah, the Anson room. I don't think it was recorded on the app, David, but John was brilliant in streaming it on YouTube. John, do you want to drop the link?
Thank you.
So you're gonna miss the links that people shared in the chat, but you'll still get some good value. Anson and Mojo and Moose did an excellent job moderating that space.
Anson just has so much knowledge. I enjoy listening to him. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. All right. Thanks everyone who participated in all the rooms we had today. I'm sure when Mojo gets back to the app, look for another in the muff room. Because that's kind of what he does. Just open it up and see what happens. You guys have a great evening, and I'll see some of you around the clubhouse.
Man, make sure you lay prostrate in front of the fucking Pope. You fucking.
I mean, if he's a Protestant, he doesn't.
Yeah, lay in front of the Pope. You fucking weirdo, and pray to Mary.
Try to pronounce
and Hail Mary, and get the fucking rosaries, and go and confess your sin.
Make me get up.
No, I'm telling man.
What? Sorry. You triggered me with that title, though, because he can do anything, man. There's no limit. I would have said, like, I never would have thought they would have reversed Roe v. Wade. Never. I would have bet against him. I would have lost. And right now, there's nothing he won't try. So I don't know. I think he likes gay guys, though. He had
He didn't try this. This is not.
I know. But he was the first Republican that had gay rights as part of his campaign platform, and he promoted Rick Grinnell to be the first openly gay ambassador, and then he was member of the cabinet. So I don't think he's got it in for gays. But if he did, they wouldn't be safe, and Obergefell wouldn't stop him. let me read the news to you guys. You guys ready? This is ABC News. Where'd it go? Disappeared. Oh, here it goes. All right, y'all ready for this? It reads, Supreme Court formally asked to overturn landmark same-sex marriage ruling. Kim Davis, a former clerk who refused gay couples, brought the appeal. So this was brought by Kim Davis, not Trump. It says 10 years after the Supreme Court extended marriage rights to same-sex couples nationwide, the justices this fall will consider for the first time whether to take up a case that explicitly asks them to overturn that decision. Kim Davis, the former Kentucky county clerk who was jailed for 6 days in 2015 after refusing to issue marriage licenses to a gay couple on religious grounds, is appealing a $100,000 jury verdict for emotional damages plus $260,000 for attorney fees. And a petition for writ of certiorari filed last month. Davis argues First Amendment protection for free exercise of religion, immunizes her from personal liability for denial of marriage licenses. More fundamentally, she claims the high court's decision on Roe v. Hodges extended marriage rights for same-sex couples under the 14th Amendment's due process protections was egregiously wrong. The mistake must be corrected, wrote Davis's attorney Matthew Staver in the petition. He calls Justice Anthony Kennedy's majority opinion in Obergefell legal fiction. The petition appears to mark the first time since 2015 that the court has been formally asked to overturn the landmark marriage decision. Davis is seen as one of the only Americans currently with legal standing to bring a challenge to this the precedent. Quote, if there ever was a case of exceptional importance, Staver wrote, the first individual in the republic's history who was jailed for following her religious convictions regarding the historic definition of marriage, this should be it. Lower courts have dismissed Davis's claims, and most legal experts consider her bid a long shot. The Federal Appeals Court panel concluded earlier this year that the former clerk cannot raise the First Amendment as a defense because she is being held liable for state action, which the First Amendment does not protect. Davis, as the Ronan County Clerk in 2015, was the sole authority tasked with issuing marriage licenses on behalf of the government under state law. Not a single judge on the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals showed any interest in Davis's rehearing petition, and we are confident the Supreme Court will likewise agree that Davis's arguments do not merit further attention. And William Powell, attorney for David Emerald and David Moore, the now married Kennedy couple that sued Davis for damages, in a statement said that them in a statement to ABC News. So this is a renewed campaign to reverse legal precedent. I'm not gonna read the rest because there's several sections, but this is being brought by a very specific person, not Trump. But I guess it could be attached to Trump because people describe the court as Trump's Supreme Court or the MAGA Supreme Court or whatever. So, some people are really scared about this. I'm not sure it has legs for the reasons that were just articulated. So I'm wondering what the whole panic is about. Now this got going a month ago, but people are talking a lot about it today for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's another distraction from the Epstein files. But what do y'all think about what's going on with this?
Two words. Sorry, decisive. What's that?
Elaborate, please.
So stare decisis is a fancy Latin word for
I know
precedent.
what that means. I'm just saying,
Yeah, well, maybe others don't. So the Supreme Court has had a tradition up until Roe v. Wade of not making a dramatic reversal that will change people's lives in a negative way or that will deprive them of a right that had previously been granted to them. Now, please don't bring up the whole Dred Scott thing because obviously enslavement was a moral wrong and reversing that was a moral right. So I don't think that counts, what I'm saying. But Roe v. Wade was the first time that I can think of where they violated stare decisis or the rule of precedent and reversed a right that, potentially half the nation, actually fewer than that because not every woman gets an abortion, but a large portion of the population
nation had a right to count on, according to a previous Supreme Court decision, Roe v. Wade. In other words, stare decisis is precedent, and they don't usually reverse themselves because it undermines their authority, their consistency, and it deprives people of rights. I think this is a long shot for this woman, too.
It's not just about a long shot for her. It's the fact that she's now getting, national media attention. It's a big win for her cause and Protestants nationally. That as her position, she was able to essentially obfuscate same-sex marriages and call it out. I mean, this woman is like the Mother Teresa of us, of heterosexual Christian normative behavior. So, I don't know. She has an important position. She's on ABC. I mean, that's Disney pushing her out. So. She's in the national consciousness.
I'll point out I've often got in trouble, often in this room, in fact, for talking too much, but this is the first time I got a little bit of feedback for not speaking enough.
Nobody said that. When people give you feedback without speaking to them, that's it.
Just not. You said elaborate.
That wasn't feedback. I just wanted you to.
I'm kidding. I'm just making a joke out of it.
Well, I'll do that.
I just want to say one more thing. I love how America does this. How there's always an inversion, always an opposite. It comes out of nowhere, and it's like yin and yang.
What the other people think.
I don't think it has a snowball's chance in hell. At the same time, stare decisis is a principle and not an absolute rule. So you have to look at it from through that lens. But this thing ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you might call a norm. No self-reference intended. Like the filibuster. Like the nuclear option.
So that is the idea of these kind of people.
Not really a law.
Whenever there is an issue on any issue which is related to our country, they will put another issue.
Rules have been accepted up until that moment. And Trump is like, he's unlike, I think, any president in history for violating rules, constitutional guidelines. So, now, again, as Jason aptly points out, this is not a Trump thing. And this woman is a bit of a kook. And I think her case is a long shot. I think the Supreme Court won't take it up. But I have noticed, you probably have too, that it is payback time. And Trump is definitely famous for payback. Now, again, this is not a personal thing with him. But the January 6th people, they've all, I think, been freed. Some of them have even been hired by the Trump administration. Anybody that went after him, they're under the microscope now. Like I was just thinking, he's going after Letitia James, and he's going after Adam Schiff. Trump is in payback mode. And the Democrats are not guiltless when it comes to violating the norms. I believe, I can't remember, maybe somebody will remember who threw the filibuster rule out of the Senate. I believe that's called the nuclear option. I should get everything straight. Getting rid of the filibuster, I believe, was the nuclear option. They got rid of it only for judges, as I recall. So you could filibuster to avoid a discussion of a judge in the confirmation hearing. But what we're seeing now is a combination of violating the norms. The Democrats and Republicans are both, but going after Trump as a candidate was also, I think, a violation of the norms, by the way. Those 4 indictments. So that's an example of the Democrats doing it. and karma is a bitch, because people get paid back. Now, this woman, in my view, she probably should have said, listen, I'm not doing your gay marriage, but let this clerk next to me do it, and then she wouldn't have deprived those people of their legal rights. But she didn't do that. And because of that, she went to jail. It would be interesting to see film of her in her prison outfit or her jail outfit. But I guess she wanted to make a federal case out of it, or she wanted to make a publicity stunt out of it. So she did her little stint, her week in jail, and now she's looking for vengeance. I think it's really disgusting, to tell you the truth.
Why do you think she's disgusting, though? I mean, she's literally just doing what she thinks is the right thing to do.
I think the abasement of our political discourse for now just turning into tit for tat and action and reaction. I mean, they should not have indicted Trump on all those BS charges. I called them BS from the beginning. I was in many clubhouse rooms about it. And now he's paying everybody back who went after him. So now he's got the attorney general. So, the FBI people are getting in trouble. We're stretching the democracy is elastic, and we're pulling the rubber band to its limit, and we don't want to snap it. We want to break it.
So you think retaliating against like Letitia James and other members of DOJ would probably look at this?
You think it's what?
A balanced approach to democracy. A president retaliating, like giving a lesson.
No, I'm saying I don't think they should. It was absurd for them to go after him, and they succeeded in getting him elected. I think because they didn't anticipate the blowback. It's absurd for them to have gone after the Dems to go after him. It's absurd for them to have violated stare decisis. Absurd. Absurd with Roe v. Wade. And it is absurd for Adam Schiff to have gone after Trump, lying in Congress repeatedly, lying on the news night after night after night about this evidence he said he had. He never ever produced the Russian thing. So that was wrong. It was a stretching of the norms, and it's also now wrong. Trump is hitting back, and it's equally wrong. It's not more wrong or less wrong. But I think Trump is definitely somebody who's stretching the limits more than any other president. And it's got a lot of people freaking out. I'm not freaking out, but I am kind of blown away by his outrageous offer.
So, has the Supreme Court even coming late to the party? Have they accepted the case, or we don't even know that?
No, they haven't. They haven't even considered it yet, and I don't think they'll take it. No. And I think she's aware of that.
That was my take. I mean, if I understand correctly, was it a clerk in Kentucky refused to give a license, marriage license? Is that how this?
She turned it into a publicity thing. Her picture's at the top of the room. She's a real looker, Take a look at this woman, and she violated the law by not giving this couple a license. And in order to uphold religion, it's not a religious freedom case, because she could have just said, "Listen, I don't feel comfortable doing this. Go talk to the next guy at the window next to mine. Maybe he'll give you, a marriage license. Or go to the next county. I mean, I'm just not, she would have been wrong, but she didn't have to turn it into a thing, It's the same thing with the cupcakes, or the wedding cake, or the graphic design, the website, where it's like somebody going in and demanding that you make them a wedding cake. It's a little bit absurd. So they pushed the norms in that regard, if you remember those cases. The website and the wedding cake for the gay couple.
You know, they talk about this supposed gay wedding cakes a lot, but what's the actual cake made out of? Is it peach? Is it strawberry? Is it blueberry? Like, what kind of cakes are we talking about specifically?
I can already vote on it. I'm not gonna serious decision.
You know, when I saw Obergefell in the title, I didn't know exactly what that was until I read the ABC News article. But, uh, you know, I don't think that. I think there is no such thing as fate with regards to this topic. The truth is not. Obergefell. It's a German word, right? Last name?
Hey, I guess I'm not really super surprised about the whole Obergefell situation coming back up. People were hinting at this after Roe versus Wade, right? But I was
I did not overturn.
yes. Well, yes. But what I was gonna say is like maybe this is God telling the gays that they got too relaxed. They need to get back into being politically active because we kind of got get married and then we were like, oh, we're done, bye.
No, then it went to trans things.
No, that's like before that. The most gay men are not involved in that shit.
I know, but that's where the movement went. They linked everything all together with all the alphabets, you know.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, the gays were like checked out. They were like, we're done. We want it.
So they did.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that while Obergefell Hodgins, Obergefell v. Hodges, made gay marriage legal, in 2022, the Congress under Democratic control had passed a bill that enshrined the ability for gay folks to get married in law. Am I misapprehending on that, or has somebody heard that too?
I didn't understand, but I wasn't paying attention. I apologize.
I didn't understand the question.
I said that I was under the impression that while Obergefell v. Hodges in 2013 made gay marriage legal, that in 2022 the Democratically controlled Congress had passed a law that Joe Biden signed that made gay marriage legal in actual law.
It was legal because of Obergefell in 2015. And then they found out, if there was fear that Republicans would overturn that, so they passed it into law in 2022 under Biden, so that couldn't happen. That was supposed to be like protection against the overturning, but apparently they overturned it because of that, so I don't know. I don't know what that law is.
I mean, the whole thing with Clarence Thomas, right? He's been saying this since basically it was that his premise is that the U.S. Constitution doesn't provide you this type of privilege, right? It is an additional interpretation to have this as a codified benefit, whereas just like the U.S. government and Supreme Court, the Constitution basically points to restraints on certain limitations, but it doesn't explicitly say that these benefits are something that should be legalized. So that's been an argument for like decades, right? That's been the premise of his position, and that is a fundamentally more conservative interpretation of the Constitution, which is, so he's been hinting at this for a while, but I don't know if public, I think, first of all, they're either going to take the case, second of all, it's not 2010. 70% of the country now supports gay marriage. It's going to be wildly unpopular if they overturn it with pretty much everyone, well, except for Republicans. But even like now, 51% of Republicans support gay marriage. That is a majority of Republicans. It's not as big as the 90% of Democrats, but it is, it's pretty high. Higher than many. You said 20 something, right? And then you have independents, which are about 70% that support it. So, like, if it does get overturned, it's actually going to be a benefit to the Democrats because this is an issue that the Democrats can use. Bad for the gays, but good for the Democrats. Huh. It's like the Dems to weaponize. Right. Political advantage. I mean, Trump did that with white people. So, I mean, he just did it more discreetly. Because the Democrats do it more. They're more open about it, but Trump does the ballot whistles. Well, they were pretty open about it. Poor whites in Appalachia. Speaking of poor whites, I know this is slightly derailed, but I was looking at polling, and only 40% believe that Republicans believe that Mr. Vance should be the next successor to the MAGA movement. That's actually quite low. So I'm excited to see what happens next time around. It's going to be the heir apparent to Trump. I mean, that's what they're saying. I don't know if that's going to change. J.D. Vance is not charismatic. Like, he's kind of difficult to listen to. I mean, I think he's kind of ugly. His eyes kind of creep me out. It's like the bulging eyes that kind of get you. I'm like, what are you looking at? Kind of scary looking.
Well, you won't have to worry about marrying.
And he won't. I mean, isn't his wife an immigrant? Isn't she gonna get deported too?
She's Indian.
Yep, back to India. Same thing with Melania.
Married to a U.S.
or wherever the fuck he's from. Slovenia, I think.
Is there anybody married to a U.S. citizen in it? Jason, are you aware of people in marriages with U.S. citizens getting into trouble with ICE?
Yeah, it's made the news.
Oh, well, I don't watch that.
How did you find out about it?
No, I'm asking if that's been a scenario, how the scenario is playing out.
Yeah, it has.
Because I was under the impression that you pretty much, if you were legitimately married to a U.S. citizen, you could just get a green card by virtue of that.
You can, but there's like a bunch of weird exceptions. Like, the process takes a while, so like, if they catch you before you have one, they report you. It's like all these weird reports. That's quite sad. It's only people's lives, actually. It's not like
Do you think it's fair to refer to your fellow Americans as Gestapo or other, terrible Nazi references? Do you think that's unfair to say about your fellow Americans?
oh, this is a free country. We have free speech. Say what you want. I would give it to call ICE for stuff. Whoever listens to me, do y'all.
I am a little, the whole, like, these unmarked, I've been seeing, like, the rhetoric that the protesters are using when they're filming ICE agents. And when you're filming a guy that's wearing a billboard that says Department of Homeland Security, ICE, Enforcement and Removal Operations, right? Like, on the front of his vest, on the back of his vest, on his hat, on the badge clipped to his belt, right, on the side of the car where it says, DHS Border Patrol with a big mark reflected green stripe, right? And you're like, who are you? We don't know who you are. It's like, if you can't observe the obvious nature of their marketing.
Some of them. You're not being honest. Some of them don't have that. First of all, so it's being weird about it. Secondly, even if they did have like clear indicators in their eyes, if you can't see their face and they do something illegal, you don't really have much recourse to hold them accountable. That's what complaints is.
No, I was gonna say real quick, there are plenty of videos where the ICE agents are wearing all black or nothing that identifies them, and then the truck is unmarked, and they grab these people and put them in the vans or the whatever. Right? There are videos, you can literally Google it. You're not being honest here. There are some, yes, that are marked, but there's also a lot that are not. And I think we have to be honest here.
I think you're misrepresenting the ratio, because I know you are. A lot of the videos. Hold on. Okay. I've seen a lot of the videos.
The ratio point that you're going to use to not like pivot away from the mistake you made. It's not really relevant. The thing is, there are people who work for ICE, allegedly, who it's not clear that they do because they don't have any of the indicators you described at all. And the reason why they don't is because they're basically undercover. So they don't want to alert people to their presence. It helps them get arrests. That's why they do it. It's a serious fucking practice. This happens all over the place. Like, but I gotta pretend like it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it happens,
But that reporting. So what I'm saying is that I've noticed people with those talking points in mind who are talking to very obviously marked federal law enforcement, and the bulk of the federal law enforcement that I've seen actually on the ground being used to make arrests are mostly Border Patrol agents in their issued plate carriers, and a sprinkling of ICE deportation officers and HSI agents and other agencies, but the vast majority being Border Patrol in plain clothes with vests.
Okay, fair enough. Like, that does happen. You're levying criticism because you believe they're being ridiculous because in some footage, it's obviously clear that they're ICE agents. It's like, that's weird because you're missing the point. Like, I don't know why you didn't point that. Why would you even go down that road? There's legitimacy to their word. Because there are
Like they're taking. So there are absolutely law enforcement operations where they use unmarked vehicles and wear plain clothes and might tell you you're under arrest or show you something, but they're not very obviously,
yeah, bro.
Easy to determine uniform.
That's what they're complaining about. That's the thing they're complaining about.
But that is, in fact, I'm struggling to remember more than one video of somebody being arrested by people wearing like neck badges and plain clothes and no other identifying items except their neck badges. I remember like one video of that. So this characterization that the vast majority of these aliens are being detained by plainclothes undercover ICE agents and not in massive raids conducted by lots of marked agents seems like the opposite is what's actually happening on the ground. The majority of them are marked, and a few of them are unmarked.
You're editing the argument at this point, right? Like, your initial point was that you were making upset about people complaining about supposedly unmarked ICE agents as if they didn't exist. That was the initial premise. And now it's like we're talking about the majority versus the minority. That wasn't the initial argument that was made. You never said the majority of arrests are covered in the minority or not.
What I said,
never said that. You went straight to the point of calling people delusional for being upset about these people that are unmarked, and that is where the logic doesn't make sense.
No. What I said was that I'm seeing these people who have taken this talking point to heart, who are then deploying it in a situation where every single law enforcement officer involved is clearly identified as exactly who they work for and who they are. So there's no plainclothes undercover officer taking law enforcement action in these videos that I'm talking about, but they're acting as if they are. And that's what's silly and delusional.
But there's a lot of videos
I'm not saying that somebody's saying this when there's like two guys that are looking.
Acknowledge the truth of what you're saying. It's just what's disingenuous about it is you're not acknowledging the validity of the actual complaint that comes from the left. Like that's what's weird about what you're doing. But yes, there are examples. I've seen it. There are examples where people are like describing what's going on, and like the examples they have in the footage are ICE agents that are clearly marked ICE agents, but they're describing the issue of unmarked agents covering their faces in unmarked cars, quote unquote kidnapping people. That's how they're describing it. But what they're showing you is not good examples of that. I've seen that several times. That exists. Like I'm not gonna pretend like that doesn't exist, but like, dude, what we're trying to get you to do is not pretend like what they're actually describing doesn't exist, because it does exist. Like, and there are problems with it that are reasonable. Like so. I don't know why you're putting all this attention on this silly thing the leftists are saying. I mean, you could do that, but like, I feel like the steel man version, what they're trying to get at, is more interesting and fair. Because like, I don't know, bro. Like, when the left like bastardizes strong arguments you think the right has, and you balk at that and be like, they're not even getting it right. This is not what we mean. We mean this. Like, so be fair to them. Like, I feel like that's just fair across the board.
But these complaints of completely unmarked law enforcement action, where are the videos of that? Because I haven't seen more than one.
They're all
and I've watched a lot of videos on the subject.
Okay, they're all over, and I've seen it in person live with my own eyes. I'm saying the left isn't going too far, and it's utterly ridiculous to think that if 5 or 6 guys are coming up on you like that, there's no way they're there to kidnap you and rape you. That is like farcical to believe that that's going on. But I'm with Muse on this one. I've seen it with my own eyes. I rolled up on one of these situations. They were not marked. There was 12, 15 of them, an entire street blocked off. I've seen dozens of these videos. Both sides are being a little hyperbolic and kind of ridiculous, in my opinion, on this whole argument. Just both sides are taking their extreme opinions and not really getting to the heart of it.
I mean, there are credible allegations that there were people impersonating federal agents, I believe ICE agents, who really weren't ICE agents. But because ICE has this practice where they are unmarked, like they were kind of convincingly disguised as those kind of ICE agents, and that poses a danger. And I think that's a reasonable thing to be worried about or wary of, even if it's not happening the majority of the time, because it could happen, right? One kind of infamous case recently is you had the assassination of those lawmakers in Minnesota. The dude who shot those people was impersonating a police officer, right? Like, that actually happened. That's how he, like, got access to
not an undercover police officer like a
fair enough. No, he was just a regular police officer. But the point is, it kind of demonstrates the concept, right? And like that's why people, I think, have a reasonable concern about it. Now there are people who are taking it, you know. This is the thing that just bugs me so much, is that the crazies have a way of undermining the reasonable people, and then Manville and people like Manville who are disingenuous cite the crazies in order to dismiss the genuine or reasonable concern. And I don't think that you should do that. That's not fair, right? Like, there's a rational basis to be concerned about the way that these policies are being implemented. Because a reasonable person is left unable in an instant or at a moment's notice to disambiguate between a bad faith actor impersonating an ICE agent or an actual ICE agent. And then on top of that, the actual ICE agent may not be that much better, because the actual ICE agent who's not identifiable can do something untoward or literally illegal, and then there's no real recourse. The dude can't identify who was the person who perpetrated the harm. That's a problem. Like, that's objectively a problem. Like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like even if you agree with ICE, you should be able to recognize why that's a problem.
gets lost in the argument of extremes.
Yeah, I agree. We have the ability to keep nuanced, recognize and identify the extremes, recognize and identify the more sensible kind of range to operate in, and then just operate in that range. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Okay, so can you see the reason why they want to be masked up and think that a badge is the right solution to mediate between the two?
Yeah, I do. I see the reasons that are given, particularly when you have crazy people doxing them. Yeah, but I'm acknowledging the reasonableness of the concern from the left side because I do think that there's validity there. Right? I'm willing to recognize validity on the other side too, but I'm really going against what Manville's doing right now, right? So it may seem like I'm one-sided, but really I'm a counterbalance to Manville right now.
No, what's your objectivity?
So,
I can take sarcasm, but that's fine.
Mark, alright, ballistic vest with agency and the word, police or federal officer or federal agent on it, right? With a name tag and a mask. Right? Do you think that's a fair compromise or too much anonymity?
I mean, if there's a way to identify them, it kind of undermines the purpose of the mask. But I mean, it's kind of hard to do a compromise because anything that's identifiable can be used to dox them. That's the
right. Well, if you get Border Patrol Agent Jay Rodriguez, right? There's hundreds and hundreds, probably over 1,000, but maybe close to that, of Jose Rodriguez's who work for U.S. Customs and Border Protection, right?
Then the problem is the other direction. So then it's if one of the many J. Rodriguez's violates somebody's civil liberties, it's hard to identify which one it was. So I mean, there's a problem no matter which direction you go. If they're readily identifiable, they can be doxed. If they're not identifiable, then it's hard to get accountability. That's the concern.
As somebody from the outside investigating it versus their own internal affairs, it might be more difficult depending on the connections you had into the agency. But if you had an arrest time, arrest location, an operation is being conducted, and especially if you had video of the operation, right? You took that to a lawyer, like, hey, these guys violated this, and this, and I want to get paid. That lawyer can file a FOIA request and go, I want the rosters and the briefing and the personnel assigned to the operation that occurred at this date and time at this location, and they're gonna have that.
Okay.
And on the arrest and in the process,
Because FOIA requests are often not cooperative. But yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, I guess it's just you don't live in a perfect world. So I don't know, man. It's dicey what you described, but I hear what you're saying.
And I know people don't use Axon body cameras usually unless they're in law enforcement, right? Or it's part of their job. But those body cams, the way that they have integrated into the systems of evidence, it's not just the body cams. Those motherfuckers own evidence.com. Most agencies are using them to cloud store massive amounts of their evidence. And they will not only tell you, it's a very intelligent device, and it can not only tell you who it is and who's recording it because it's assigned to a person, but it can tell you who was around it, who flipped their taser, from off to on, and at what time, and how far away were they from this body cam. All of that data is in there. And so you can not only see, if you request the data of this body cam in this incident, you get all the other ones that it was connected to. And there are investigators at private defense attorneys firms that can.
You've changed subjects more time. Do you just acknowledge that there is a problem with mass ICE agents?
They are less identifiable, yeah.
that was the thing that you kind of started by like dismissing.
It's true that they're less identifiable. They're doing it on purpose.
Isn't that a problem in terms of accountability?
Yes.
That is the validity I wanted to acknowledge. Because that I think hurts the worries that sensible leftists have, and that the people you were complaining about are exaggerating in various ways.
But what are you asking though? Because basically, like, if facial recognition software can detect who these people are, I mean, are you saying that, their social media accounts, it's basically they're protecting themselves from being doxxed because they want to use social media? Are we arguing about something else?
We were arguing about the merits of the concern with that practice.
Yeah, because the argument is if they committed a civil rights violation, they should be doxxed to people that could file a complaint against them.
Well, that's okay. I didn't advance that argument. I think that argument's silly, but there are people who justify it for sure. I think that they whatever negative things come by doxing because they're the Gestapo or some shit. But like,
I'm not saying
I'm saying death threats. It makes accountability for untoward behavior in their official capacity as ICE agents really difficult, and that's a problem because they're violating people's civil liberties and it emboldens bad actors because they think they can do that with impunity.
It's the same reason we shouldn't allow, masks in public now that COVID has gone back, and I have noticed progress with the way people behave,
but it's
when they feel
worse though
anonymous.
because the law enforcement have a higher standard of conduct, not So like, it's analogous. So like, if you can understand it in the context of black bloc rabble rousers from the left doing untoward shit, then I think you can understand it when it's ICE. Like, it's not difficult to grasp.
Yeah, and you could say instead of allowing these ICE agents to be masked, right? ICE agents are going to be completely uncovered and identifiable, and anybody participating in doxing them, right, is going to get charged with a whole bunch of federal charges and go after them.
I mean, it depends on the law. I don't know how actionable. I mean, doxing to a certain extent is illegal, but I don't know how actionable it is in terms of like everybody who participated. Like, I don't know what bar needs to be met in order to like prosecute. So I mean,
Well, people don't want to go through the experience of being doxxed because there is no justice after you're doxxed.
I don't know what that means.
I think there was something going on in Seattle or Oregon. There was some kind of counter protest to some of the Black Bloc activities that was going on. Do you remember the like Patriot group with like shields and like Viking paraphernalia that kind of went toe to toe? It was before Proud Boys really took center stage. But there was basically some counter protest that ended up in a street brawl at some park between Antifa and the right-wing group. But what happened?
In the middle of the day.
Yeah, in the middle of the day, like posted on YouTube, people getting in this fight. No. This was in like Oregon or Washington.
I remember things like that. I don't remember it being Oregon, but I mean,
there's like, was it Patriot Prayer or it was like some kind of prayer thing?
Prayer is a group that was involved in some of those events, but I don't know the specifics of what you're referring to be honest.
So, what happened to one of the people that was captured in a clip that went viral considerably more than the other ones was that, like, after that one incident, repeatedly, he had people that kept visiting his house
like throwing rocks through his windows. His tires got slashed like 4 or 5 times while he was sitting in the driveway. And he just kept having these like self-motivated, members or associates of Antifa coming by and fucking his property up and then taking off in the middle of the night.
I vaguely remember something like that. I think Tim Pool's covering that shit.
Well, how many times has Tim Pool been swatted?
A bunch of times. I don't know exactly.
For people who rail against the overstepping of the United States' police state, they sure love calling SWAT teams on people they don't like.
That's a form of harassment.
Well, that can get people killed.
It's been done to people, not to them, to be fair. I mean, yeah, they could. That's probably why they do it to guys.
You know what's a good book to read about this? We were just talking about this at dinner, Duncan, the little brother's home. And it's a book called The Empire of Mud. And apparently the reason that we ended up getting a federal government control was because the seat of government at first was in Philadelphia. There ended up being some form of troops of the Revolutionary War that marched to Philadelphia and went to bars and bitched about how they hadn't been paid. And Alexander Hamilton called session content up to Congress, which was really not all that important at that point, and got a district that the federal government could control itself, which is where we get the solid federal district from. In the middle of the 1800s, believe it or not, we treated them as a territory. We gave them a board of governors, and they promptly ran up so much foreign debt that France, Denmark, and Belgium would have, if they had been allowed to continue, would have owned main thoroughfares in what is now Washington, D.C. Just thought you guys would find that interesting. The book's called Empire of Mud. And now the feds have taken it back. Well, so apparently the last time it was exercised this way was under Lyndon Johnson. For the Civil Rights March? I don't know if it was for the Civil Rights March or for the Vietnam War protests. But this all comes out of, again, the book called Empire of Mud. Apparently it's a very good book about the history of early DC. And what is the status of owning property in DC? I don't know. That's a good question. I'll see if I can find a book and look at it. Yeah, because there are, obviously there's lots of federal, out and out federal property within DC, but there are, individual private residences too. Yeah, private homes. So, yeah. How is have y'all been seeing videos coming out of this surge in DC, or are they not really hit yet? Surge, maybe. Surging federal law enforcement into DC streets.
No, you sound like I'm super excited about it though.
Oh, I think it's gonna be awesome. They're finally gonna find out what over-policing is like. Well, then the other question is, who runs the jail in DC?
Seems like something you can Google though. If you really want to know.
it's not a county, right? There's no sheriff of DC.
Not that I'm aware of, no. Apparently the taking over is done under something known as the Home Rule Act or something like that.
So they have a Department of Corrections within the district government. But they don't have a sheriff. And they only have 2,100 beds.
Just so you know, I don't usually like drama, but I think if you want to know, John Mallinckrodt is still crying. I'm in a room earlier today, and he went out of his way to cry about you. Just so you know.
That sounds about right. He was in my back channel being slow like he wanted to.
Just so you know, he has become a giant baby about it.
To a tantrum about something very weird. I got on. They like so bad about it. Like it was a bet he backed out of. I told people he backed out of and he got mad. I was like,
Chicago and Seattle.
And to this day, I'm like, but then after that, he also he has this weird take. So he's like, he thinks I'm still in the bet that he backed out of. I was like, what? You can't have it both ways. You can't back out the bet and then but you're still in it though. Like what? That's weird, bro.
It came up in a conversation where he was like, we're never going to have elections again. It's just such a retarded take.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, this whole situation was caused by his weird ass Trump ring. I was like, bro, you're exaggerating. The whole point of the back and forth was you're exaggerating. He was basically talking about Trump like he was going to roll back into the White House for a third term with tanks and shit. And I'm like, bro, that's not going to happen. And it was like, one way or another, then he tried to expand it. He tried to do some weird shit. I was just like, bro, like, this bet me there. What's going to happen though is in 3 years, 3 plus years, when Trump leaves, he's gonna disappear and he's not gonna say anything about it. He's not gonna apologize or nothing. And I'm gonna rub that shit in his fucking face a lot. I'm gonna do rules about it, bro. I can't do it. It's gonna be epic. Because they're fucking deranged, bro. Like that's why. They're over the goddamn
He
top.
literally said you're never going to be nice.
Yeah. So I mean, you can join the crew.
I'm not. I'm just sharing.
Yeah, I know. Trump like fucks with people. He thinks of shit. He says shit like that all the time. I think it's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like, honestly, I'm so fucking confident. Like, I'm just gonna wait 3.5 years and then rub y'all's face in it. That's what I'm gonna do. Because motherfuckers say shit like this and then they fucking like disappear. They don't apologize or nothing. They just wrong takes. That shit never comes to pass, and then they just move on. Yeah,
Sounds like you're projecting.
I didn't make any predictions like that. How am I projecting?
Projecting. Oh, it just sounds like the accusations you're lobbying against this party is I kind of say similar stuff that I hear you do. Oh, not happy with that one. Not that happy. Not that happy.
Today he was a little calmer, to be fair to him, but it was like, bro, you were already.
Maybe he's not wrong. Maybe he's not wrong.
We will see. I'm gonna bring it up every once in a while. Like, do y'all still believe that dumb shit y'all said about Trump not leaving office? All right, let's make sure.
He ain't wrong. Kitover ain't wrong.
As you were.
Kitover ain't wrong.
So yeah, Theodore Herschel. That's what
We don't need them. America can, the United States, it wouldn't be pleasant, but the United States has the resources to exist and service its infrastructure and food needs by itself. France is the only other country, is one of the few countries who can also do that. But Germany can't, England can't, Germany doesn't have enough power. Most of Europe doesn't have enough power. That's why they were buying all that oil from Russia, and now they're going to be buying it from other countries. So and Trump knows that. So, yeah, he's in charge.
But I'm just curious. So, like, Armenia, a Christian country, which Israel sides with Azerbaijan. I mean, I just have to ask, like, why are they doing that?
Why does Israel have an alliance with Azerbaijan? Because Azerbaijan is able to get intelligence on Iran. Azerbaijan provides something like 40% of the oil that Israel needs per year to Israel. Azerbaijan both buys weapons. It buys weapons from Israel. So that the trading relationship between the two countries is very deep. And they've had that alliance for a while now. So those are the short answer and most basic answer to that question is what I just said.
So it doesn't matter whether or not you're Christian. It's just like Israel wants the whatever benefits them the most.
Oh, you mean in terms of Israel and Armenia?
Yeah.
All the districts down here, D+5, because they're using 2024 numbers for Hispanic turnout, and they're saying, because they turn out.
They had a phlegm issue, and they were trying to spit on the ground.
Not too tight.
And then the Christians dove in front of the spit. And then the Christians were claiming that the Jews are spitting on them. It's anti-Semitism.
And then they did fucking the USS Liberty. They fucking bombed. They bombed the USS Liberty. And then
to target these things. None of those programs have ever included deploying military units into the Spix. So is there a crime? Yes. Has it been going in the wrong direction? No.
Does people think that Trump lives in opposite world? Because that's what I think.
so that we can fucking like gain Palestine. We want Palestine, so we're gonna kill all these damn British people. So you're gonna give us our shit. Regardless.
There was a lot more attacks, not just Kingdom of Japan. They did a lot of attacks. You know why? Because the British were limiting Jewish immigration. And they essentially decided not to give you a state, Alan. That too, yes. They wouldn't give us a state. They said in 39, they said you Palestinian state, not a Jewish state. Again, forget the Jewish state.
You don't realize
right?
Oh,
They're not looking at it from the They're not looking at it from the perspective of what's actually going on. So they're looking at it from the perspective of how do we deal with it. That's the major.
Yeah, there are a lot of like.
Thank you for justifying our cause.
Al, wasn't King Dave?
I got a question for you. Are you guys planning to do Alapsa? See if you answer his question before
I
mine.
can't answer that question at this time. You just have to wait and see.
Who's your next Prime Minister? This
Not
guy
sure.
Shade
wanted to
say
something as well. Shade, what was your question?
Norman passed.
Oh my God, moment passed. You just gonna have people beat up on Jews all night on the stage?
Yeah, I mean, Felicity, I don't. I think you're a bit offside.
You think I'm what?
Offside.
Listen, you don't know a damn thing about me. So the thing is, like, I don't normally go into my personal life on this fucking app, but the people who knew me from fucking years ago, listen, the people who knew me from fucking years ago, they know that my daughter is fucking half Jewish, half fucking Ashkenazi Jewish. She's half fucking Ashkenazi Jewish. So I have no fucking reason to fucking hate Jewish people. I tell it the fucking, like, I see it the way that it fucking is.
Hold on.
I just tell the truth.
Let's break this line down. Shape, back up to shape. You claim that your daughter is a half Jew. Does that mean that her father is Jewish?
Yes, that's exactly what it fucking means. That's exactly what it fucking means.
Jewish big nose? Is it? Hold on a second. Wait a minute, Emil. This is very important. Felicity, you do not have a half Jewish daughter. You're 0% Jewish because you're not a Jew.
No, I know that. I'm aware of that. Listen, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the matrilineal descent thing.
Yeah,
I'm aware of the fact that Jews believe that if your mother's a Jew, that you're a Jew, and if your mother's not a Jew, then you're not a Jew. But I'm just saying that.
Jewish.
That's appropriation.
Yes,
Okay, well, you can say whatever it is, but that's the only way that I can describe it.
Oh,
That's gonna be
Wait,
Al, but
Are you blaming the Jews for being the chosen ones?
Felicity.
Did you ask me if Jews are the chosen one? Is that what you're
I'm
asking?
saying, are you blaming them just because God chose them?
God chose them? What the fuck are you talking about? I think the Old Testament is bullshit. First of all, that's my personal belief. I think the Old Testament is bullshit. Okay?
This is blasphemy, Amir. This is blasphemous.
I don't give a fuck what you think it is. To me, I feel like the Old Testament is bullshit. And honestly, I don't even know if I believe the New Testament either at this point. But I damn sure don't believe the fucking Old Testament. Because if the fucking Old Testament is some fucking bullshit. Because you know what? Jewish people use the fucking Old Testament to fucking justify all the fucking fucked up shit that they do to people. That's how I fucking feel.
Acknowledge that your daughter is 0% Jewish. Can you just give us that, please?
No, I'll acknowledge the fact that she's half Ashkenazi as far as her father goes, but I will also say I don't fucking believe the fucked up shit that's in the Old Testament. I think that the Old Testament, and even if you are a Christian, if you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, whatever, I feel like you believe that the Old Testament is old for a reason. They call it the Old Testament for a reason. They say it because the Old Testament is barbaric. They fucked up stuff in the Old Testament. They say stuff about you could kill whole families, you could kill women, children, kill them all. Because, Amalek, they talk about Amalek and all this fucked up stuff.
No, I got
I
a question
don't
for you, man. When did they become the chosen people, man? I thought these people are Europeans. Ashkenazi.
Yeah, Felicity, please, just leave it at we're not here to mock the religion, unlike themselves. I know there's somebody listening in the audience, A&N, aka asshole, that's recording it. Son of a bitch, go get a life.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck about anyone who's fucking recording that. Fuck you if you're fucking recording this shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's that John, you know that guy, right, John?
Talk about Israel at this point.
But Felicity, you know that guy, John, right? John records every room. You know that guy, right, John? That idiot?
No, I'm not aware of John, but I don't give a fuck about him recording it because, you know, at the end of the day, I haven't been on this app for a very fucking long time. I haven't been on this app for like over a year. And I just started getting on this app maybe like 2 or 3 days ago. And years ago, people used to tell me, because I went against Israel, they used to tell me, I'm gonna fucking dox you. I'm gonna figure out where you work at. They used to tell me that shit. They used to be like, oh, you don't support Israel? I'm gonna figure out where you work at. Oh, we're gonna find you. You're gonna be working at McDonald's for the fucking rest of your life. And I used to be like, okay, great. I don't give a fuck. Like, you people will never figure out who I am. You people will never figure out my full name. You people, like, you'll just never fucking figure it out. So fuck you. I don't give a fuck.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Especially because in 2025, most fucking people do not agree with Zionism. Most people do not agree with Israel, especially in my generation, Gen Z. We don't give a fuck about Israel. Fuck you.
I do know your name. Ma'am, I do know your name. Your name is Felicity.
Okay, great. Fuck. Okay. Like, great. Good for you. Like, what else? Like,
so let me ask you this, Felicity. Not Felicity. So let me ask you this, right? Now, do you know other Jews out there? Like, so you know they did a survey in America. A lot of the Jewish kids they actually side with Palestine. There's about 30 to 40% of them, or Hamas. So now, since you said you have a Jewish kid, when she sees these videos, is she old enough to understand that how disgusting and what they're doing to the Palestinian children over there? Is she able to understand that, Felicity?
no, she's not old enough because right now I'm not gonna like give too much information, but I will say that she's under the age of 5, so she doesn't understand that. I'm young myself, so, and I've been a young mom. Like I'm a mom, and I've been a young mom.
What about your ex-husband's family or something? Do they support Israel? If you don't mind me asking, I'm sure you met them, right?
I've actually never met them, actually, and because he's the thing about him is he's estranged from his own parents, but he's older than me, and his parents, I believe, are Zionists, hardcore Zionists, and they not only support Israel, but they actually send money to fundraisers that support Israel, but he himself, he does not support Israel.
You've never been to Israel, Felicity?
I've never been to Israel. Fuck no. I've never been to Israel. I'm not even I'm not a Jew. I'm literally
I do want to say this. I want to thank you for the support for the Palestinian cause. I really appreciate it. And just don't let that shit get to your head. The anti-Semitic shit. If they bring this anti-Semitic shit in front of you, just ask them this question. There's one question I've been asking Zionists for a while. Hammar. That idiot in about late 1800s or whatever, or mid 18, he coined the term anti-Semitism. Okay, he was a Jew hater. Now, guess what? He married 3 religious, practicing Jewish women. Right now, a Jew hater marries 3 religious Jewish practicing women. Why would he marry these women? Was he a Jew, low key? And this term anti-Semitic, this Semitic term, it was stolen from the Arabs. I think it was all part of the fucking Zionist project.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, I wouldn't. It's very possible.
When you're in Pepper's room or whatever, and you see some people from that side, just if they use that term on, you just ask them this question and they'll get stuck. And you can ask ChatGPT, you can Google it, his name was Wilhelm Marr. He was the one that coined the term anti-Semitism, and he married 3 Jewish women. I just don't get it.
I don't see the problem.
Yo, not just that. I'm gonna give you all a little bit of knowledge. So I want everyone, listen to me closely. I want everyone in this room who's pro-Palestine. I want you to look up a Jewish man by the name of. So this Jewish man, he converted to Catholicism. I believe it was in the 1950s or in the 1960s, and he was a wealthy Jewish man who was involved in I don't know, some sort of wealthy European Jewish family or whatever. His name is Benjamin Friedman. Benjamin, Freedman. M-A-N, Friedman, Benjamin Friedman, and he has a speech from 1961 where he claims that, and he's a Jewish man himself who converted to Catholicism, and he claims that Jewish people actually started World War I. They started and funded World War I and World War II to gain Palestine. Benjamin Friedman.
Yeah, but he's a Holocaust denier, by the way.
He's a Holocaust denier. Yeah, he's a Jewish man himself, and he converted to Catholicism. And he actually, he claims that, and he was a part of the wealthy Jewish people. And he says that, yes, we Jewish people, we wanted Palestine, so we started World War I, and when World War I backfired on us, and we didn't get Palestine for World War I, we started World War II. And after World War II, with Hitler trying to, quote-unquote, exterminate the Jewish people, then we started, after the aftermath of World War II, it was like, oh, then we finally got Palestine. And this is a Jewish man saying this. This isn't some Muslim, some Arab, whatever. This is an actual Jewish man who converted to Catholicism. He said this shit. So look him up, Benjamin Friedman. Look up the Benjamin Friedman speech from 1961.
This is Holocaust revisionism. So, I do offer limited freedom of speech in the space, right? I mean, look, that's her opinion if she denies the number. I think she questions the numbers, right, Felicity? Do you question the numbers of the Holocaust?
Of course, I question the numbers. I will question anything in history. At the end of the day, history is written.
And she's Jewish. She said that she was married to a Jewish man. She's got a Jewish child, so she is Jewish. So, it's coming from a Jewish person like Felicity.
She's not a Jew.
How could an atheist be a Jew and then Felicity cannot be a Jew?
That's what I was going to ask you earlier. Felicity, are you a Jew?
I don't want to be a Jew. I was with a Jew. I fucking was married to a fucking Jewish person. We have a fucking child.
She's Jewish. You don't support intermarriage. You don't support intermarriage. I hope your ex-husband gets with a good Jewish woman and has many Jewish kids.
No,
fuck you. He doesn't. Guess what? He doesn't want a Jewish woman. Okay, he doesn't.
I hope he comes around.
He doesn't want a Jewish woman. Okay.
Maybe not today.
Really doesn't.
Tomorrow, Baruch Hashem.
What kind of logic is that?
Fucking Hashem. Fucking all this fucking dumbass Hashem shit. Fuck you. He doesn't give a fuck about that shit.
Not yet. This is kind of blasphemy. Let's not do that. But I think what we could do is, Felicity, you made a lot of good points, and you brought up that person's name. I'm gonna look into it more. Friedman.
Benjamin Friedman. Everyone watch his speech. Benjamin Friedman, Jewish man, 1961, Benjamin Friedman speech. He made a speech about the fact that in World War II, World War I was a ploy for Jewish people to gain Palestine. When they didn't gain Palestine the first time, World War II was the second option. Benjamin Friedman. Freedman.
And I do want you guys to watch that the Twitter one, the former Israeli intelligence official, about Trump and how they have him by the balls and what kind of secrets they have on him and whatnot, and he dives into it more. I'll put the link in the chat again. It's available on Twitter. If you guys don't have Twitter account, you can still watch it. It does load up on our browser. It's about half an hour.
I have a question. Is she talking about Benjamin Friedman's speech at the Willard Hotel in D.C.?
Is that it right there, Felicity?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is obviously a self-hating Jew. He's got some sort of Jewish guilt because everywhere we go is successful. And he's trying to do some sort of reparation for his own.
You can say what you want about him, but he was a Jewish man. He was born Jewish, fully ethnically and religiously Jewish, and he converted to Catholicism, and then he exposed the Jewish plans. So that's what you can say. And that doesn't mean that he hates Jewish people. That just means that he's exposing what the evil that Jewish people were doing. That doesn't mean that every Jewish person is bad. I don't believe that. I completely do not believe that. Not at all. Especially as someone who actually has a kid who's like half Jewish. I do not believe that shit.
I just want to say that Al is married to a convert who's not ethnically Jewish. She converted to Judaism. Miss Axa is a convert, so I wouldn't listen to Al.
It's okay, it's exactly like you said, Kat.
And Al, are you Jewish yourself? Are you Jewish?
Somali, so just be careful. It's the only way to be.
Al, but is Al Jewish? I'm just curious. Are you?
Yeah, what kind of Jew are you, Al? I still don't know that.
I'm a Zionist Jew.
No shit, but like, like, are you Ashkenazi? Are you Mizrahi? Are you Sephardic? Are you all three?
There's a lot of doctors on the app. You're gonna have AI. I believe he's Mizrahi. Al, you're Mizrahi, right? Last time I checked. If you want to think I'm Mizrahi, you could think that. But no, we had that conversation a long time ago. Do you remember? Long.
Was supposed to be a protection for somebody like me from the kind of people that I lived around, from where I came. That no longer is the case for the kind of people that they're bringing in. And the problem is, I can't seem to find a place where that isn't happening on like a global scale. It used to be, oh, you could go to England. They're Christians, right? You could go to Italy or France or Germany or to the US.
Hi, Bima.
But where is that really anymore?
Middle Eastern, and they're also partially European. And Mizrahi Jews are fully Middle Eastern. So that's why a lot of them get mistaken for being like Arabic or like Arab, because they look Arab, but they're Jewish. So that's the difference between Mizrahi and Ashkenazi. So like I know a lot about this shit, obviously, but yeah. But I don't know why Al is trying to convince everyone that like what I'm saying is like wrong or whatever. Like anyone could look this shit up. Like it's very hard to look it up though. Believe it or not, like best believe you're not gonna find this shit on YouTube. I found it on YouTube many years ago when I was in high school, which was many years ago. But you're not going to find it on YouTube anymore because YouTube is highly censored now. You're going to find it on Rumble or X, aka Twitter. You know, just look up Benjamin Friedman, the speech that he gave in 1961. He's a Jewish man, and he claimed that, yes, the Jewish people, they actually wanted World War II to happen. They wanted it to happen. They wanted the Holocaust to happen because it was a way for them to gain, like basically a very reasonable reason for them to gain Palestine. They're like, okay, well, if we go through a Holocaust, we can convince other countries that we deserve the right to retain Palestine. And that's exactly what he said, you know? That's how it happened. That's what it is. So you can be mad at me all you want, but this is what a Jewish man said. So that's not my words. That's what a Jewish man called Benjamin Friedman said. That's what he said. So y'all can all look it up. That, like, you know, it's not going to be easy to find it, but I'm sure you can, like I said, you can find it on Rumble or X. Benjamin Friedman, his speech, 1961. So, yeah.
Thank you for the share. Appreciate it. Welcome back, Ace. And anybody else want to speak? Shave, did you want to say something? Al, I think he went to go answer a phone call. He probably got a call from Israel. Anyways, now when you, Felicity, I do have a question. So when you go into Pepe or any of those rooms, has the climate changed, like the talking points, or it's the same shit every day? It's the same lies?
Honestly,
they changed?
Honestly, I feel like Pepe has kind of changed his viewpoint a little bit. He used to be a hardcore Zionist, but now when I go in his rooms, he seems like he's like kind of skeptical about like Zionism. Like the last room that I went to, which was like 2 days ago, he was saying something to like the extent of like, oh, Zionists, they want to like.
Sorry, this ain't working. And no one wants.
they want to like censor you basically, and so like that's kind of his thing. And I was like, okay, like I was surprised that he was kind of like starting to lean towards like the anti-Zionist stance. You know, I was pretty surprised. He's not totally anti-Zionist right now. He still believes, like, you know, I'm sure he still believes that Zionism is like legit and everything like that. But in his last room, which was like I said, it was 2 days ago, he was like saying that, yeah, like the Zionists, they're like really hardcore on their stuff, and they want everyone to believe that Israel is this great place and all this other stuff. And you know, he's definitely changed from like a year or two ago. You know, since the last time that I've like spoken to him, he's definitely changed his stance for sure. You know.
Pepper is actually a racist piece of shit, man. He's racist towards the black folks. He's racist towards the people, like the immigrants, Muslims, and just. I tried, you know. I said maybe I can bring him to the. He tries to copy. What's that guy? Nick Fuentes or something?
Yeah, Nick Fuentes. Yeah, and I feel like he's at the point. And this is like honestly, like from the bottom of my heart, I feel like he's like to the point where he can like change his viewpoint, you know, where he's at right now as far as like Zionism goes and everything, because he's changed a lot since what I've seen like from a year or two ago, like I said. So yeah, he's definitely like, it feels like he's changed a lot. You know, he's much more critical of them. He's much more, you know, more what's the word, like questionable about them. He questions them a lot more nowadays. And yeah, I feel like he's at the point where he's kind of ready to like question them. He doesn't believe a lot of the quote unquote neo-Nazi points. He thinks that, like, he doesn't think that I'm a neo-Nazi. Obviously I'm not, and I'll say that I'm not. For sure I'm not. Obviously I'm not even white, so I'm not a neo-Nazi. But yeah, I feel like he's definitely like, he doesn't like use those talking points anymore or anything like that. And he's to the point where he's like, yeah, like in the room he was like, yeah, they don't like you to criticize them at all. And you know, anything that you say about them is like anti-Semitism. It's fucking stupid. And I'm like, fucking for real. Like, it's about time that you fucking realize that shit. That's a fucking like trick. That a lot of Zionists use the trick of like anti-Semitism. They'll say it's anti-Semitic to be against Zionism, but it's not. And a lot of Zionists on this app like to say that, oh, it's anti-Semitic to say that Jews shouldn't like live in their home countries. That's not fucking anti-Semitic. It's fucking normal to believe that Palestinians who fucking lived in that land for millions of fucking years should be able to fucking live in their fucking own fucking, you know, their own countries. It's fucked up that these people think that they think that Palestinians should live in their own homes, especially when Palestinians will take DNA tests. They'll take DNA tests, especially Palestinian Christians. They'll take DNA tests and they'll find that they're 90% ethnically, you know, tied to the land. And then these fucking Zionists, and I'm not going to say that Zionists, like Jewish people, are not tied to the land. They are. But the thing is, they're only partially tied to the land. They have a lot of European DNA in them, you know? You're not fully, you can't sit up here as someone who's half tied to the land. You're a Jewish person, you're fucking half tied to the land. You can't say that you're more ethnically, you know, tied to the land than someone who's like almost fully tied to the land, or even a Palestinian who's half tied to the land. So if you're like half Egyptian, you're half Palestinian, whatever, you take a DNA test, because a lot of Palestinians will take DNA tests and they'll find that they're like, you know, they'll find that they're like half Egyptian or
so that
not a target, because
This is Clown House. This is candidate Congressman Kitover. I'm here with Norman Green. Norman, we are listening to Amir's Room on Clubhouse, which I have reported to the FBI and other U.S. national intelligence as being a Clubhouse potential terrorist, definitely a terrorist supporter, and a terrorist promoter. What do you think about these toxic Clubhouse rooms?
Their depravity and open criminality, and I was in this very room earlier in the evening where they were sex trafficking openly.
Indigenous to the land.
International sex trafficking crimes in Dubai and Switzerland. I was shot under assumed names, but the whole room was laughing about it. I think that should be in the title and in the FBI reports.
All right, well, I'm notifying Clubhouse again, and then we will listen in and live stream them into this room through Anonymous, and we will report them to the authorities because what they're really doing is ridiculous. It's full of hate speech. It's nothing but terrorists promoting, terrorists supporting. And, I'm all for freedom of speech, but I think that, documenting this is important. And the fact that it causes Amir pain to know that he's being recorded and he lashes out at me and says, F you, Kitover, F you, F you, F you, I think it's a worthy activity to shed light on this. I'm not physically afraid, but I think, he should be recorded and reported. That's just my belief. So let me jump back in Anonymous, and you will listen to what they're discussing. This is called Gaza Under Israeli Boots, Liberation or Colonialism in Amir's House. Here we go.
Is half Jewish, and she, if she wanted
This is
to,
somebody
when she
named
gets older, she
Felicity,
could move to
777, Felicity far
Easily.
right.
Easily, because her father is Jewish, and that's all it takes. All it takes is that you have one Jewish grandparent. That's what the law is in Israel. One Jewish grandparent. They have a law where it says, one Jewish
We
grandparent.
also have somebody in the John Kitover podcast live on Clubhouse called J-Lo or Tatiana89.
You can just easily, doesn't matter, easily just move to Israel, if you want to. But it's so ridiculous, and I would never in a million fucking years encourage her to fucking move to that country, especially because they required people to, do at least I think it's 2 years of military service in Israel or something like that. So it's ridiculous. So it's the fact that she could just move to Israel as an American who's not even tied to the land like that, just because her dad is a fucking Jew, this is a Jew. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It is. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. I don't think they should just be allowed to just take people from the fucking land who are indigenous from the land, just because, you're a Jew, and that means because there's a hierarchy in Israel where a Jew is above a Christian or a Muslim. That's fucking ridiculous.
Hey, Amir the Carmen.
What's up, Reverend? How you doing?
What's up? I ain't heard from you all day.
Same old. Just listening to Felicity, and then we had other people come through, and they said some things about Afghanistan, India, and we were talking about what's happening in. They're fighting against each other. Even the Zionists are arguing on this app, like the Israelis.
Yeah, and the last thing I'm gonna say is I kind of lost my train of thought. But I lost my train of thought. Shit. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Has there been any new updates in
This is Reverend.
from BB's camp, Amir?
Also want to pipe in Pepe's White America here on Clown House.
Oh yeah, in person things are very different, aren't they?
So why would you say you were embarrassment? You don't know me in person.
All right, we're gonna go back to
that if we're going to occupy it, they would have to look after the medical services. They have to look after the aid. They have to look after every little thing.
All right, we got Scotty coming up. He wants to say something. What's up, Scotty?
Like there's a Israeli in here. He said that who's going to govern Gaza? Who's going to do this? And it's a mess. It's a shit show.
But
so
out and said that he was not looking to occupy Gaza, even though remember I played you the clip where he said that that's not his mission.
Did you not see? Did you not listen to his statement? That's what he said. He turned around and he said, "We're gonna help Palestinians by taking over the land." His intention is not that to occupy, but if you look at the whole thing, he is going to occupy it.
Oh, he is, but he's just not saying it. He's saying it in a cold manner.
Yeah, he's saying it. He's trying to be slick with his words.
There's a big thunder.
Only time will tell. I guess I'm trying to hold out hope. You know,
it's fucked up at the end of the day, especially like they did like a study where they showed like how do Jews in Israel who are like ethnically Jewish, as in like because it's like a matrilineal religion where they go by the mother's religion. So whatever you are is what whatever your mother is what you technically are. So they did a study and it was like most Jews, I think it was like 70%, like 75% of them, Israeli Jews, believe that if your mother's not a Jew, that you're not a Jew, and you don't like deserve the same rights or whatever. I think that's like pretty fucked up, honestly. And the fact that in Israel intermarriage is like illegal, I think that's also pretty fucked up because it's like kind of racist. Like if you think about it, if they did that shit in Europe, like where it was like, oh, if your parent is not a white person, you're not allowed to be with another white person. You're not allowed to be white European if you're not a white European. That would be pretty fucked up. But Israel is like the only country in the world that I know of that's allowed to just have these laws into place where it's like, oh well, if you're not this or that, you're not allowed to get married if you're not a Jew. You're not allowed to.
No, none. Because basically there was suspicion going on. That's why.
What are you talking about?
There was suspicion going on in the sense of money in the accounts and all that kind of stuff. That's why. So it led to something that led.
I was like, I don't need 7 jeans anymore because everybody caught on.
Like, agree with that shit. How anyone can say, oh, that's just okay.
So we got Black Girl in the audience here in Clown House and Amir Clubhouse
so
terrorist promoter. Call FBI room. We're still listening to Felicity go on, and now Amir is back.
Have you ever talked to a normal Felicity?
You said a what?
El Normal.
El Normo.
Normal, like a normal person?
El Normo, the norm?
Oh, El Normo. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've never spoken to him, like, directly, but he's a fucking retard. He's a retard.
Assalamu alaikum.
He's a dumbass.
El
And I
Normo.
don't, have anything against
She's
anyone's
giving you a
religion
1-star
or whatever.
review on YouTube.
I don't even have
on
against
YouTube
anything
Google
against,
reviews right now, El Normo.
Jewish people or Muslim people who follow their religion or whatever.
She's
I know I said
she's not satisfied with your services, El Normo.
But I was low key trolling, but no, I don't have anything against anyone because one of my best friends was a Turkish Muslim man, and he was very kind to me. I'm not gonna go into everything about him or whatever or about myself. But I will say there was a point in my life where I didn't have anywhere else to go, I was really young. I was a teenager, and he opened his home up to me, and he was very kind to me, and he told me that, this is a
Okay,
Muslim
so we
household,
had this person named Lozan in the Amir terrorist
I
clubhouse promoter
respect
call
you, and
FBI room,
there's
and Lozan jumped
nothing
back into the
bad
Amir
that's
room
gonna go
where
on
Lozan,
with me or
Auntie
whatever. That's,
Lozan, Sarah Adweller
just
with
like
2
explaining
L's,
everything that he basically
Mayumi said,
to
"Shine
that
your light on the
extent.
world."
And he was really kind to me.
That's the profile. Lozan.
And so I kind of and that was when I was a teenager. So I kind of I've never been,
There's
against
also
like
Fawad
Muslim
and
people
Ace
or
that are
whatever.
modded in the
And I
room.
think that you
Fawad
can
is
be a Muslim
Amir
person, be a very
699
generous
102.
and kind person. So,
There's a
I
couple
don't think
Islamic
that being
houses.
a
One is
Muslim
called Soldiers
automatically
of
makes you a
Islam
bad
with
person or
17.4
anything like that. I
thousand
think that
members,
if you're a bad
and
person,
then
you're a bad
Islamic
person,
with
and there
12.8
are certain,
thousand members.
from my beliefs, I believe that there are certain Muslim people who can be bad, who do commit
Then we have Ace,
violent acts,
who is Alien
honor killings and
Ace,
stuff like that. But I don't think that
friends with
represents
Bima
Islam,
in White
as a
America,
whole.
in Politically Correct, in
You know?
Amir's News, Intellectuals.
So,
Recent
yeah,
survey
but when it
answers
comes
is
down
who's
to
to
it,
be
bro,
blamed for potential civil unrest?
he has
Zionists, of
top
course.
people giving threats
How
to
will
people.
Netanyahu go? Lie
He's done
himself
a
to
lot of crazy
death.
shit on this app, right? He wanted the FBI to pull up in front of my property, because he's pissed off for me running these spaces every day. And this is the big problem with Abnormal. He just doesn't respect for people. No respect, no shame. But then, something crazy happened, a couple days ago. You have the, and he was giving me threats of all types of shit, whatever. But if you look in the chat, I believe Shuki posted a link. He's asking women, for nude photos and videos. So we have people like him, creep on this app, and then, he wants to go around dox people and give threats. So just be careful, Felicity. Abnormal is into doxing a lot of people, and
I'll definitely be careful because like I said, I haven't been on this app for many months. It's been I'm pretty sure it's been over a year since I've been on this app. This is I kind of just started getting on this app again, maybe 3 or 4 days ago was my first time on this app once again. But I do know that when I was on this app about a year or two ago, there were a lot of Zionists on this app who were trying to dox me. They were threatening me. They were oh, I'm going to figure out where you live. You're never going to work anywhere. You're going to work at McDonald's for the rest of your life and stuff, shit shit like that. Very fucked up shit just because I wasn't agreeing with what they were saying. It was really fucked up. And I believe what they say because, there's for instance, there's a Twitter account. You can look this up. The name of this Twitter account is called Stop Anti-Semitism. And this Twitter account, they just dox people. There was a woman. So this girl, she was in college. She was probably only 18, 19, 20 years old. And she just slapped the hand. So she was she came into contact with this Jewish guy who was wearing an IDF shirt. And she was fuck Israel. And she just slapped his phone out of his hand. And then she ended up getting investigated by the Attorney General of the United States because of what she did. And it's that shit is so fucked up that we can't even criticize a foreign country. It's not even about if it's Israel or not. It could be Russia.
I would say a little over 80 probably, because the major concentration of the population is on Java Island, and then there's some other islands that have, Christian
beach. So we can say whatever the fuck we want to say. And the fact that this girl who's in college got suspended, and I don't know, I'm not sure if she got expelled or not, but you can look her up. Like I said, the account on the Twitter is called Stop Anti-Semitism. They doxed her, and they not only did they dox her, but they doxed her mom, they doxed her dad. They're oh, this is where her mom lives, blah blah blah. This is the name of her mom, blah blah blah. And it's so fucked up. It's like, dude, come on. Like, that.
Smoke a cigarette.
So you vibe whoever you want to vibe with. That's it.
Talk to him.
Period. Don't listen to this bullshit.
Cause FD and cheese cooking.
Some people need to get out of Wakanda.
I'm a great drag that next time.
Living single.
I'm drag him every time I see him.
Yeah, that's exactly what we act like. Oh, but he really think he the dude that he got on his
the PTR.
His PTR, but he's not. He's Kyle. And Kyle is gay in real life.
And there you go.
There you go.
And nothing wrong with being gay. I'm gay, but so it's nothing wrong. But just like stop.
Yeah. Getting back and forth with him.
He's a Zionist.
Is he like Black Rabbi? Is he like of that ilk of his?
So he has served in the military. I think he's PTSD. He's suffering from PTSD. His understanding is, I found out through Zach that comes in here sometimes. He's back in the audience. His understanding is that whatever we say here in public, we should be able to say it on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? That's what he claims. That's why he goes from room to record conversations, right? Even though this new feature that they came out with, this plus thing, it's garbage, it's shitty. At least the leader of the room that opened up, they should have the ability to kick out an anonymous account without knowing the person, just remove out of the room. And that's the part I just don't get. I mean, we don't want anonymous accounts because they could be spying, recording, doing a whole bunch of shit. I think what Clubhouse did is because to create more drama. And this does create more drama. You see what I'm saying? Here we are talking about it. You see what I'm saying?
And I want everyone to know, especially like whoever the fuck is recording, I don't give a fuck. I want everyone to know, just so you know, my Jewish baby daddy, he does not fucking support Israel either. So fuck you. He doesn't support them fucking either. So
he's a self-hating Jew.
Yeah. In some ways, I'm not gonna say he's self-hating, but I'll say that he is very critical of his own people, which is like valid. You can be critical of your own people. I can be critical of my people. Anyone can be critical of their people. A white person can be critical of their people. So I think it's really stupid to assume that you just cannot be critical of your own people. Like, anyone can have a critique about their own people, but for some reason these Zionists believe that you just should not be able to critique your own people, which is ridiculous.
Well, you know how we feel about critiquing Israel. It's really just kind of a taboo thing to do in our society. I was just checking out the Stop Anti-Semite on Twitter, and I came across this guy from Manhattan Beach, Douglas Eli, realtor, Igor. He claims Israel did 9/11, calls Zionists Nazis, accuses Jews of stealing Palestinian organs. Which is true. I just don't get it, bro. What is wrong with that? I told you should stop calling them Nazis. Stop calling us Nazis. Nazis don't like us. Yep, I should call you guys. It's like calling Americans Iraqis or Iraqis Americans. It doesn't make sense. I should call you guys terrorists. Ah, jeez, that's a lot better. He's a terrorist. I mean, that's true in the Middle East, right? If you even at ChatGPT, the first terrorist attack, just like Felicity said earlier, I looked it up, I think, a couple of weeks ago. The first terrorist attack was done by a Jewish militia and British men in Palestine. And it is disturbing now. How could your people do this to the Palestinian men or to the British? They sold us the land, we bought the land, and then they didn't respect the sale. It was only 6.6% of the land that you bought.
Basically, it's kind of crazy when you look at actual history, because you know history is written by the victors. Everyone should know that history. You look into the history books, you cannot actually trust the history books because history is written by the victors. At the end of the day, like, it's written by the victors. So when you look at like Palestine and everything, you know, associated with it, the British people, they were literally basically like forced into giving Palestine to Israelis because the Israelis were literally committing terrorist acts against against British people. So it was like to the point where, like, if you're not aware of like the history and everything, the British people were like, "Fuck it, we're just here's Palestine. You can have it. Turn it into Israel. Like, go ahead, have it, because y'all keep killing our people." We were occupying Palestine. We were colonizers, and that's what the British people do. They colonize. They colonize so many countries. They colonize India. They colonize so many parts of Asia, you know. They colonized parts of Africa. And it was like, they were like, okay, fuck it. Take Palestine. Here you go, Israelis. Take Palestine. Just stop fucking killing us. Stop killing us. Stop committing these fucking terrorist acts against us. Don't bomb the King David Hotel. That's what they fucking did. They bombed the King David Hotel. Stop bombing us. Stop committing these terrorist acts.
I have a question for you, Felicity. From what site do you obtain all this Hamas propaganda from?
That's hilarious. No, it's funny because they call everything Hamas.
Serious question. What are your sources?
That's hilarious.
What are your sources?
Well, we got Al. I got some good news for you. So there's this person in Utah. They refused to serve Zionists at his Utah bar. Owner Michael Valentine, right, announces on social media he's shutting down because they've been harassing him, right, because of this anti-Semitism bullshit, right, and they doxed him on the stop anti-Semitism. Can you believe it? He did not want to serve any Zionists.
Of course, anti-Semitism is skyrocketing all over the world.
Yeah,
everyone hates us.
2.2 million views on that fucking post that they did. Stop anti-Semites. I wonder if my name's on there. Fawad Jalani. Did you really change your name, Abu? Did you really change your name? Is that free? It probably is. Oh my God. He changed his name to something else now. Al, what do you think about the brother that's sitting in the audience? Read his name. What do you think about his name? Al?
His name exactly?
Just go scroll down in the House members. Click on Abu and read the full name to the room. What is his full name and what does it represent?
I don't even know how to do all this stuff on the house you're trying to get me to do.
No, just scroll down. Scroll down. Under, you see the little, it says Abu. Abu is in the room.
Oh, he's in the room. Abu, okay, it is Abu.
Click on Abu, read his full name.
Obeida?
Yeah, what does he represent?
The spokesman of Hamas.
Oh my God.
An international terrorist organization and a proxy of Iran.
There's no proxy. Where's the connection? Can you show me statements of the Iran funding Hamas?
Yair Sinwar said that he got briefcases of cash from Soleimani to build a tunnel.
Yeah, but that was from Qatar, and Netanyahu allowed the funding.
As IRGC, it's an extension of the IRGC. The IRGC is a state sponsor of terror, according to the U.S. Department of State.
Yeah, but the U.S. lies all the time.
They're not lying.
Yeah, but then why was Netanyahu given the permission to allow the funding in the hands of Hamas?
We've gone over this every day, multiple times a day. There was another terrorist organization called the PLO, which needed to be subdued. And so, Netanyahu gave money to Hamas to subdue a different terrorist organization. PLO was getting a little bit too big.
Yeah, but what about the money? So money came in, according to Ehud Barak, is $1.4 billion. That's a hefty amount. And Shin Bet gave alerted Netanyahu not to fund Hamas. If you do that, it's going to be used for military wing, not for political wing, right? So why did he keep funding? I mean, you support a terrorist, right? You become one. So he's a terrorist. Isn't Netanyahu a terrorist?
Yeah, Mrs. Honest Jew was bothering me, distracting me while you were talking there. But I stand by my claim. Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis are all terrorist organizations and proxies of Iran, and they're all just there to bother.
But Hezbollah was created. Why was it created, though?
It was created to hate Jews.
It was created to fight off the Israelis in Lebanon because you guys took over Lebanon.
Look, the only reason they wanted to fight against us is because we're Jews. If we were Arabs, Hezbollah never would have formed. They would have accepted our rulership. They have no problem being ruled by Arabs. They just don't like being ruled by Jews.
I think you're mistaken.
You know what the crazy thing is, though? Netanyahu, he's a fucking terrorist because he convinced the United States to go to war against Iraq, Syria, Libya, so many of these countries. You can find clips of Netanyahu back in the 90s, in the late 80s and stuff like that, just like trying to convince like Americans, like I'm sure he went to like, it looked like it was like some sort of like public thing. So I think it was like Congress or something like that. He convinced us to like go to war with all these countries in the Middle East. He's such a fucking terrorist.
Listen, sweetie. Do you know what all those countries you name?
Why would you call her sweetie? Why, bro? Why?
Because I can. Do you know what all those countries you name have in common?
because you're a Zionist. That's why I get you there. but listen, are you okay with him calling you sweetie?
I'm okay with it because I think he's trolling.
Listen, this guy, bro. All those countries you listed, they have one thing in common. They all supported so-called Palestine.
Nobody gets that.
Holy shit. That's so cheap. It was to Northeast.
Our tire since 65.
Okay, you looked it up. Okay, Dayton tires. Let's talk about Roger. What Roger do? Did we create a whole genre?
No.
Hold on. You niggas from Cali wouldn't be shit without Dayton niggas.
You said John
Let's get
Roy.
to that. Funk, nigga. You wouldn't have.
Okay, who came
a lot
from
of you
Dayton?
niggas. A lot of you
from
niggas.
Dayton?
Who came from Dayton? Roger Troutman, Bootsy Collins, Ohio player. I mean, the list goes on and on. Can I? What's up, huh? Are you drunk?
They was out here before.
Are you drunk? Let's
they left before it was broke.
Nah, it wasn't. Nah, they got
no, sir.
Okay. This nigga's 65. You know what it is.
No, sir.
Break it down.
No.
Break it down, huh? Break it down. What happened? What happened after 65?
Who came out of Dayton?
I just told you, and you know. Stop playing like you don't fucking know, nigga.
Y'all industry went straight down.
We created a whole genre of music, nigga. Funk, nigga. You niggas wouldn't know. The East Coast niggas Snoop wouldn't be Snoop if it wasn't for the Dayton niggas.
That's West Coast.
Y'all, the West Coast wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for Midwest niggas.
Did you say Rick James?
Because they were scared. Because they were like...
lot of the LGBTQ.
No, just the T. Just the T. Like, gays could serve.
Well, I mean, you're separate. Well, right. To you, you think that he's gone along with it, but the reality, and this is what I brought up about the LGBTQ, which was when that Obergefell decision came or was released from the U.S. or from the Supreme Court, the transgenders were saying that it was a win for them. They were because of gender identity. Yeah. So there is so in my eyes there is no separation because you can't have one without the other because that's how that's how they got the positioning.
Quite literally, Trump's executive orders exclusively barring trans people from the military and not gay people or lesbian people or even bisexual people from the military contradicts what you just said.
Well, I mean that's one executive order. I'm not saying that he wrote an executive order specifically against gay marriage, but
explicitly supported gays in the military. Let's not mince words. Trump supports that shit.
Well, again, it's just like when people think that just because what's the guy's name he was the ambassador for Germany. I can't remember what his name is, but he was an openly gay man, and he was in his cabinet. So, but again, that is not the same as writing an executive order or doing some policy from the White House that massively changes.
Why didn't Trump issue an executive order that barred gays from the military? Then, if he doesn't support it,
he probably didn't even get around to it. He didn't get around to a lot.
Didn't get around to it.
No, he probably didn't get around to it. I mean, like I said, there are certain things that are higher priority than others. Transgenders took on a higher priority.
Why? According to you,
I'll tell you why.
You can't separate one from the other. So why wouldn't he prioritize them together?
Well, no. Well, again, it starts with one thing and then it goes into another. But I
can't separate them according to you. So if he
why
had enough time to sit down and draft an executive order. He didn't draft any of them, by the way. He just signed them. But if he had time to have an executive order that addresses trans people, why wouldn't he have executive orders that bans gay people from the military? If you can't separate one from the other, that's what you said.
Because everything doesn't have to go in one executive order. He could have done it in other executive orders. But why didn't he at all? He's done hundreds of executive orders already, and he has not one time attempted to ban gays from the military. Not even once. He didn't campaign on it. Transgenders, I'll tell you why. Because transgenders became a larger issue or problem right around, I forget which specific year it was. But it became
was 2015. In case that matters.
Well, again, nobody thought that transgenders was getting ready to explode inside the school districts. They didn't see that coming. A lot of us didn't know that was coming.
Why did you go to the schools? We're talking about the military. Why did you do that?
Yeah, right. We're talking about the military, but again, all we're doing is having a conversation about it. That's all. I'm just simply saying, just because Trump did not write it in an executive order doesn't mean that wasn't on his radar.
But Trump supports gays in the military and doesn't seem to have a problem with gay marriage either. So I don't know, bro. Like
I said,
how is Trump not liberal by your standards if he supports this?
I just told you, there's a difference between what he says in front of the camera versus what's in an executive order proclamation.
Okay, what do you think my position is on gay marriage?
What do I think? What your position is?
Yes. What do you think my position on gay marriage?
I don't think that we specifically discussed this, but I would think you support it.
I do. I have the same position Trump does. So how come he's not a liberal, but I am a liberal according to you?
Because I've had conversations with you about a whole bunch of stuff. So I haven't had a conversation.
You said I was liberal because I don't think the 2020 election was stolen. I don't think that's really
immigration.
Okay, I don't, but I'm not.
They don't want to produce split date. They're selling it with in high prices. Like 1 kilogram of sugar, when I was there, it was a year and something ago, cost 90 shekels. It's like 20 something bucks, US dollars, for 1 kilo of sugar. I don't know what's the prices today. They are taking everything, selling it in high prices. Now they have money to bring more terrorists. They don't have people how to feed their families, so they say, okay, I will join us, I will get paycheck. My family will have something to eat. And they are still, the wheel is turning and turning. This is the way Hamas still in control, in power.
And no one seems to talk about it. Like the newspapers will report like the prices, but they will not stop and ask like, why the fuck are they even paying 1 shekel? They're getting this aid for free for the last year. For free for the exactly. We don't care. Take everything. The way we post the prices, they don't ask like how come there are even prices? Why are there even a market opening in restaurants? And who's benefiting from this?
That's it, bro. That's a little bit longer, but this was them yesterday crying in a room. I mean, I told you to come join us, but you missed it, bro. They were all crying in a room, man.
I actually talked to Eagle earlier, and I told Eagle, I said, because Eagle and Amos, they're sort of like arguing. That's what I came to find out, that they were arguing over the what are we gonna do in Gaza? What government is gonna be and how it's gonna work out, and they are kind of like worried about it. So I don't know what's gonna happen, right? In relate to this whole situation, how they're gonna occupy it, because they have their families that have to serve in the military and whatnot, and they do not want to serve in the military. So I don't know what will happen, man.
Actually, yesterday they were all cussing Amos out because he's saying that they lost, and for them they think that they won. So they actually.
Well, maybe if you hit her up in Chinese, it's like you get a step up, kind of.
Wow.
Track for that, his whole family. I mean, it's crazy, but so he will be the wealthiest man. He will,
I know my fellow Jews' voices like I know my own voice.
Well, like yesterday they were sitting in the room and they're just crying. They're like, why is this happening to us? Like, now we're isolated. The whole world is against us. Motherfucker, if the whole world is against you, like, how the fuck can you even ask the question, why is the world against us?
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid. It's like, it's not even just because you're fucking committing a fucking genocide against people and you're starving them out and you're like starving children and women out, which is fucked up. Like, it's not enough that you're literally committing a genocide. You're starving these people out, and the whole world understands that you're starving these people out. Literally, no one fucks with you. No one fucks with you because you're fucking starving kids and women, and even men. Like, you're starving these people out, but that's not enough. It's also the fact that people understand that you're also controlling our politicians in the U.S. through blackmail. The AIPAC is literally controlling our politicians. You have like people who are on the Epstein list, and they are being blackmailed. They know that they can't say anything against Israel. They can only blindly support them because Israel has all this blackmail on them, and or they're being paid off through thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, depending on who you are. You're being, you have thousands or millions of dollars being funded towards your campaign, so it's ridiculous.
I don't think it's money. I think there's always going to be a higher bidder. Think about the money that Saudis have. If it was being bought, anybody can buy you. Money's not the issue. I think it's blackmail material. I think it's very, very sensitive information. If it comes out, you're done for. It's something much deeper than money. 100%.
Very, very likely. I agree. Very, very likely. But it's also the money that they get, because a lot of these politicians are just thing is, and I forgot what his name was, but there's a congressman. I think his name is Thomas Massey. I think what's his name? He's a U.S. congressman, and he says he's one of the few people in Congress who's not funded by AIPAC. And AIPAC is the American Israeli.
Fuck you motherfucker. I won't go to...
What are you talking about?
Yeah, my shit is so nice. תתבייש לך. לך תלך.
Who is this? What is going on? Nice talking to you. I have to go take care.
Yeah, that was it.